one match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to PlayOnSports.com's Friday night game of the week for the Georgia High School Association. Tonight we come to you from Raider Stadium in the beautiful city of Alpharetta, just north of the city of Atlanta, for a Region 6A showdown between the Chattahoochee Cougars and the home Alpharetta Raiders. A very good Friday to you, a big night of pink out here at Raider Stadium, and we are thrilled to have you with us for a showdown of crosstown rivals. Joined by Chris King, Jason, our producer, and Kenny on the camera, this is Kevin Beck. And Chris, we have got ourselves a good one here tonight. The Cougars come in 4-2 on the season. The Raiders, they need to turn things around. They come in 500 on the year, 3-3. A pivotal game here as we get into the final third of the 2012 season.
Kevin, kind of a follow-up of last week where we saw a couple of teams at the top of this region. That would be West Forsyth and Johns Creek. West Forsyth got the victory last week, so they are sitting on top of this region at 3-0 in Region 6A, followed by Johns Creek, Lambert, and these two teams, Chattahoochee and Alpharetta, both sitting at it with a 2-1 record. A very, very important ball game. Of course, as we always know, the top 4 teams in the region will go to the state tournament, and both teams are jockeying for position in this region, here in this pivotal ball game. Kevin, not the first time we've seen Alpharetta this season.
Early in the season, we brought you Milton as the visitor here at Raider Stadium. And Chris, at that time when Milton came in here and beat this Raider team, that was considered somewhat of a surprise, but not to the Milton team. They have had a great season. They are definitely in the conversation in 2012. The Raiders, as we said, 3-3, and their home record, Chris, really 1-2. They're 2-1 on the road, so a little bit of a turnaround for the team with a packed house here tonight. They've got to take advantage of the pink out here at Raider Stadium and use this home field to their advantage. The Raiders did win the toss, and they will receive the football here tonight, but we should see some action. Chris, Alpharetta comes in averaging 34.7 points a game, 29.7 for the Chattahoochee Cougars. So I think we're going to see some explosiveness on both sides of the football, including that quarterback for Alpharetta, Josh Dobbs, who leads the league in passing, 1,238 yards, 9 touchdowns already on the season. He is a good-looking prospect.
And both teams coming in off of victories last week. Alpharetta defeated North Forsyth 55-21, while Chattahoochee squeaked out a victory against South Forsyth by the score of 28-24.
So the Chattahoochee Cougars in the white will kick off to the home Raiders of Alpharetta. Adam Abdeloui, he will do the kicking honors, and we are just about set to go on a Friday night in North Atlanta, and we are thrilled to have you with us. Andre Harton takes the bouncing ball at the 10, and he's loose on the sideline. Tried the stiff arm on the kicker, and the kicker was up to the task. Abdeloui brings him down, but the Raiders will start in excellent field position, and that'll be around the 40-yard line where they will go 1st and 10. And Chris, as we said, trying to turn things around, 3-3 on the season, a must-win for the Raiders right now. And you probably have to think the Cougars in a must-win situation now, 2-1 in the region, but this is a very tough region, as you said. And the big news from last week, Lambert really would like to have that one back against Centennial when they lost that one. That threw them back into the middle of the mix here, where they were really toward the top. And they're going to count on a little help from Chattahoochee here tonight. The good-looking quarterback, Josh Dobbs, to the outside. Julian Macon is the target. He's bounced out of bounds just across the 45-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 48. A nice first down pickup there. It'll be 2nd down and a couple.
Kevin, so many weapons for Dobbs on offense. If we recall the second game of the season when we had Milton and Alpharetta, there's a guy out there by the name.
Sorry, Chris, we got a flag on the play. I didn't see it. It's going to be holding, so erase the good pickup there by Macon and march it back. It'll be 1st down and 20. Go ahead.
No, that's good. What I was going to say is there are a lot of weapons, especially receivers. This Alpharetta team, they are blessed with tall receivers. Watch number 81, Carlos Burse. He is listed at about 6'4", 6'5 and a half, and the man covering him this evening will be Josh Hearn. He will have his hands full, as Hearn is a little bit shorter, and we've seen what advantages you can get if you're a tall receiver.
And, Chris, they assess the penalty from the spot, so it will be 1st down and call it 15 or 16 now. Quickly to the outside again they go. Rodney Morris this time on the receiving end. It looks like the football came out, Chattahoochee says they have it. And it looks like it will go over to Chattahoochee. Big turn of events there. Rodney Morris unable to hold on after the catch. And just like that, Chattahoochee goes to work inside Alpharetta territory. And Chris, how big have turnovers been all season long that we've seen? Not just the turnovers, but points on those turnovers.
Looked like the senior Justin Jackson was the man who caused the fumble and recovered the fumble. Big break for Chattahoochee early in the ballgame.
And this will give us a chance to look at another good-looking senior quarterback, Travis Marshall, the senior, 6'4", 200 pounds. He is the prototypical pocket passer, Chris, number 15 in your program, and they will go to work just outside the 40. And we're going to have flags movement on the left side of the line. Looked like Victor Dixon Williams on that left side. A little anticipation there.
So a little bit of jitters on both sides. The first play of the game for Alpharetta cost him a few yards, and now after the turnover, Chattahoochee is going to be marked back 5 yards as well.
So both teams start out with a foul. First down and call it 15 for Chattahoochee. An absolutely capacity crowd here at Alpharetta Stadium on both sides of the field. As we said, Chattahoochee High School is the crosstown rival here of the Alpharetta Raiders, and this is just loaded with atmosphere here tonight.
Got plenty of time.
Looking to throw is Marshall. Now he's going to tuck it under and take off near side. Gets knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Good pickup there, and that'll bring up a second down and short. So on the improv, Travis Marshall, the senior, takes it on his own shoulders and gets the penalty back and more.
Give credit to the Alpharetta secondary. There was no one open, and the quarterback made a good decision. He's not trying to force anything. If he can't find anything, he's going to tuck it and run and get all he can. Good positive yards there on first down.
Good job by the secondary of Alpharetta, but a very good job as well on the other side of the offensive line, giving Marshall some time. Second down, we'll call it 4 for Chattahoochee. Marshall looks and throws. Now he tucks, quarterback draw, and that'll be very close to a first down. Looked like Naeem Mustafa, first man to get him, number 99 on the tackle.
And Kevin, there's no secret early on. The coaching staff, the offensive coordinator, head coach, they have the confidence in their quarterback. They have told him, look, if you can't find anybody open, go ahead and run that football, and that's exactly what he's done these last two plays.
The Cougars come in averaging just under 30 points per game, 29.7 on the 2012 season. And you're seeing why right now with Travis Marshall leading the charge. First give is going to be right side, and struggling for first down yardage, that'll be Chase Nelson. And it looks like he's going to be very close to a Cougar first down.
Looked like Devon Isaac was one of the first Raiders in on the tackle, and it's going to be that left foot, right foot mark, Kevin. We'll see what happens.
And that will be first down. Chris knows of the football. Just outside the 30, that will move the chains. A first down for the Chattahoochee Cougars. Just underway once again from Raiders Stadium on PlayOnSports.com. Along with Chris King, this is Kevin Beck. The A-team working with you tonight. Jason, our producer, Kenny on the camera. We are thrilled to have you with us on a beautiful autumn night and a pink out here at Raiders Stadium in Alpharetta. First down and 10 from just outside the 30. The Chattahoochee Cougars go back to work with Travis Marshall. Marshall from the shotgun looking, not finding anyone. And now he's going to improvise again on the right side, and he is gang tackled just inside the 30. Short gain there. Took a little punishment over there, Chris. I think these Raider defenders are going to start to apply the hits here and make him think twice about tucking that football.
Once again, give the secondary for Alpharetta credit. They allowed no one to break open. And you mentioned the offensive line for Chattahoochee doing a good job. But that time the protection fell, and the quarterback could do nothing but just ahead for about a yard.
When he takes that shotgun snap, Chris, he's not dropping back. He's just kind of standing there ready. There's a couple of step drop for Marshall. Now firing, got a man wide open on the far sideline, and that is going to be complete inside the 10. A beautiful throw and a beautiful catch. Avery Ward, the junior, on the receiving end. It'll be just outside the 10. So first and 10 from the 11. Nice looking throw there and a good effort to go up and pull that one down.
Yeah, and a very, very quick strike that time. Did not allow the defender to come in.
So they can get a first down inside the 2. First and 10, here's Marshall looking, he wants to throw. Corner route, and that is going to be incomplete. Looked like Colin Lisa, the intended receiver over there. A little too much heat on that one from Marshall.
A good one-on-one coverage by Trey Whitaker.
Nice job of Marshall to put that where only the receiver was going to get it, Chris. You don't want to take any risks down there as you approach the red zone here and work inside the red zone. So a good decision there to put that one tall for his intended receiver. 2nd down and 10. First possession of the game for the Cougars. They got the ball on the fumble and began this drive inside Alpharetta territory. Raiders show blitz, and Marshall changes the protection to the left side. 2nd and 10. Again, Marshall to throw. Same pattern, same play, and caught this
Great
time.
catch.
He went in the huddle, and they're going to say incomplete now, Chris. Incomplete. Nice job there by the defender to rip the ball out, because that was a beautifully thrown ball over in the corner.
Kevin, you mentioned the previous play over the outside left shoulder, so it's either going to be the receiver or an incomplete pass.
Big play here early in the ball game for the Alpharetta defense. Try to hold the Cougars to a field goal attempt. Here's Marshall on 3rd and 10 from the Raider 11. Once again, the Raiders show blitz. Marshall with plenty of time to survey. Sidesteps the defender, now fires into the end zone, and that's going to be short hopped by the intended receiver, Miles Hill, and that will bring up 4th down. And on comes Adam Abdullawi for the field goal attempt. So a nice job there by the Raiders defense to keep Travis Marshall and company out of the end zone. 4th down will set up a 28-yard field goal attempt for Abdullawi. 8:44 to go, opening quarter here at Raider Stadium. The visiting Cougars looking to get on the board. Avery Ward is the holder. A good snap, a good set, and a very nice kick just drilled through the uprights, and the Cougars go on top 3-0. So there's 3 points off turnovers right there, Chris. Consolation prize for the Raiders, only giving up 3 when it looked like the Cougars had something going.
Yeah, the Raider defense, they stiffened when they needed to, made a couple of big plays defensively. And Kevin, I've got to wonder, Chattahoochee, a couple of plays in a row, they had their quarterback tuck and run. They looked like they went away from that. They were trying to pass the ball down the field, but they, as I mentioned, they gave their quarterback the ability and the permission to check down and run the football if needed. And maybe they were trying to force it in a couple of times, because as you mentioned, the Raiders initially stepped up and showed blitz, but then when the ball was snapped, the linebackers kind of stepped back in coverage, and that's what stopped Chattahoochee from passing the football. I'm just kind of curious why the quarterback did not continue to run the football.
Marshall has had a lot of time. Of course, just the first series of the game, but it looked like the offensive line was giving him plenty of time to survey, but an equally as good job done by the secondary of the Raiders to not give him any targets.
Yeah, Trey Whitaker was involved in 3 plays that could potentially have been touchdowns.
So the Cougars draw first blood, taking advantage of the turnover. Abdullawi will kick it off. A line drive is going to go deep into the end zone and over the head of Andre Harton, and the Raiders will go to work on their own 20. Trailing 3-0 early, Chris. It looked like they had something going, a couple of good plays there, the reception, but the fumble on the far sideline on the strip, and the Cougars were right on top of it.
Yeah, that was a really good play by Justin Jackson over there by Chattahoochee.
So the second possession for the home Raiders here tonight, and they find themselves down 3-0 early.
So many weapons out there for Alpharetta. You've got Hartman out there. You've got Carlos Burse out there who's dangerous. You've got Julian Macon out there who's dangerous. Pretty good quarterback, too. I can't leave out Dobbs.
So Josh Dobbs leading the league in passing, 1,238 yards, 9 touchdowns coming into the game, and they're going to go on the ground with a quick give. Not much there. A nice job on defense. Julian Macon, the ball carrier. Defensive line right on top of it, gain of 1.
Yeah, Brian Sykes came in and made a really, really quick tackle.
Looked like they had the counter working there, Chris. There was a hole, but the defense collapsed on it very nicely with an ankle tackle. Once again, we see a no-huddle situation. Dobbs calling the plays at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders, just outside their own 20. Dobbs to fire, far side, and he's got a man by the shirt tails. Brain Manu on the receiving end. Check that, Daniel Clements on the receiving end.
A good quick decision. Dobbs did not take very long at all to get rid of that football. It's almost like his receiver was running the route, and as soon as he turned to the left, the ball was waiting for the receiver. Nice play on 1st down for the Raiders.
Cougar corners are giving them that 5-6 yard cushion there on the drop back, Chris, and they've got that all day long. Once again, here's Dobbs firing over the middle. That's incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver, looking for Andre Harton at the 45. That'll be incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Kevin, we've seen in previous games where that cushion really can cost you, because all those receivers are going to do, and they're going to take about 6 or 7 steps, stop and turn, or they're going to cut to the inside, and somebody's going to be open.
And, Chris, that will make them susceptible to a double move if someone wants to do a stop and go. And we're going to have some eager defensive linemen there, and that will probably go against the Cougars for encroachment. So a free 5 for the Raiders will bring up 2nd down and 5. So a good break there after the incompletion. The Cougars with a free 5 for the Raiders. And Dobbs will go to work just outside his own 40.
So I guess statistically you have negated 50% of your good defensive play there on 1st down by giving away a free 5 yards.
And we've seen that all season long, Chris. This is too high of a quality of a league to give free yards to the opposition. 2nd and 5, Dobbs with a quick fire over the middle. That is juggled and caught. Andre Harton on the slant at midfield, and he's into Cougar territory at the 48-yard line. Nice pass, nice catch, nice concentration.
And Kevin, that slant's going to be open all night long until those Cougar defenders step up and maybe initiate a little contact a little sooner.
And Chris, you mentioned it is just a track team out there. You've got to disrupt them getting off the line of scrimmage, or they will have their way with that secondary. Busting through the left side is Julian Macon, and he's knocked out of bounds about the 25, make it 27, 8-yard line. That was a quick hitter, Chris. He was up to speed when he hit the line of scrimmage, and he was off to the races into the secondary.
Then you take Andre Hartman out of the game, and then you bring in another speedster. Rodney Morris comes in. Also in the ball game, number 18, Blake Rowelson. We saw a lot of him in that game against Milton a few weeks ago.
Chris, you touched on it before we went to kickoff this evening. Absolutely loaded with athletic talent over there on the Raiders side of the football. Dobbs going back to work now. 3 wideouts. Double protection in the backfield for him. Plenty of time, and fires incomplete. A nice job on defense there of knocking that ball out. Carlos Burst, the intended receiver. And that'll be incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Josh Hearn did a really good job of getting in and causing that ball to become incomplete. Maybe throwing the ball a little faster. Burst made his move, and he was open for a couple of seconds. But give credit to Hearn with the closing speed to get in there and disrupt the pass.
Plenty of time for Dobbs to throw that football with extra protection in the backfield. And now they will empty the backfield for Dobbs on 2nd down and 10. 4 wideouts set for the Raiders. And a quick fire to the outside, caught, and breaking tackles out there is Carlos Burst. Still breaking tackles, and a shoestring save inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It'll be 1st down and goal for the Raiders. And once again, pitch and catch between Dobbs and Burst. Chris, they've got to disrupt these guys getting off the line, or as you said, they're going to have their way with that secondary.
And the ultimate confidence going right back to the guy who did not catch the ball last time. We know Burst has good hands. We've seen him earlier this season. He's tall, he's lanky, and he's got great speed.
Going to go on the ground inside the 10. Couple there. Down to about the 7-yard line. Stephon Perry, number 2. First time we've seen him get a touch here tonight.
Another one of those dangerous seniors on offense for Alpharetta.
Senior heavy and very heavy with talent over there on the offensive side of the football for the Raiders. Perry stays in the game as the lone protection now for Dobbs on 2nd down and goal from the 8. Raiders trail by 3, looking to take the lead here. Again, that slant pattern works down to the 2-yard line. And they're going to say the 3-yard line is where the forward motion is stopped.
That was the junior Daniel Clements on the catch. Maybe about time for Julian Macon to make his move.
And once again, Dobbs, the tall quarterback, has plenty of time back there to survey and fire when he finds an open receiver. Crowd starting to get into it now. 5:25 to play, 1st quarter. The Raiders trail by 3, but threatening. Here's Dobbs one more time, in trouble, tries to dance out of the way, and he is brought down in the backfield. Nate Sherman broke through, the junior, to throw the quarterback for a loss. So, Chris, Turnabout seems to be fair play here. The Raiders stall inside the red zone, and they will be held to a field goal attempt.
A very impressive drive for Alpharetta, but once again, just like Alpharetta did on the other side of the field, give Chattahoochee credit. They stopped Alpharetta when they needed to, and they are forcing Alpharetta to go for 3.
Thomas Waller, the junior place kicker. And Chris, just about the same distance as well. And we're going to have a timeout Chattahoochee, the first of the first half, with 4:43 to play. So the Raiders show that they can really move the football down the field, not only through the air, but when they start giving the ball off to guys like Harton and Perry and Julian Macon and keep running those fresh legs in, Chris, that will be a headache for that defense of the Cougars all night long.
Well, they put up 8 touchdowns minus an extra point last week against North Forsyth, 55 points. And Kevin, I'm not saying that North Forsyth's not a formidable opponent, but it doesn't really matter who you play. If you put up 55 points, you've got some weapons on offense.
And Chris, we mentioned it earlier, 34.7 points per game, the average for the Alpharetta Raiders coming in. And it's kind of surprising, Chris, you average that kind of point per game number, but you come in 3-3. And I think even the more surprising number is the 1-2 home record here, where they have got a huge following to support this program.
And Kevin, looking at this region, there's going to be a pretty good team that's not going to make the playoffs. There are 5 teams that are 2-1 or better in the region right now. West Forsyth, Johns Creek, Lambert, Chattahoochee, Alpharetta, 5 very formidable teams. One of them is not going to make postseason.
26-yard attempt now for Waller, the junior. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. He missed it to the left. Hands on his head. He can't believe it. Plenty of leg, plenty of distance. He just pulled it, and the Cougars dodge a bullet. Defense holds a miscue by the junior kicker, and here comes Chattahoochee again. They maintain their 3-0 lead. Big break there. Chris, put a note next to that one. Could be a big play in this ballgame.
Yeah, a little demoralizing for the Alpharetta offense because they pretty much had their way with Chattahoochee's defense, and they felt like they could have got on the board here and tied it up. And that kind of gives a little bit of a sigh of relief to Chattahoochee's defense. The Cougars come out now on their first offensive series of the game where they have to go down the field. Let's see what happens.
First snap from their own side of midfield. Marshall in trouble in the backfield. He's going down back at the 14-yard line. Great job of penetration back there. Naeem Mustafa, the senior, Chris, and he is going to be a headache for Travis Marshall if they don't block him. He is a big, tall, strong defensive end.
Came right around the outside, did a nice little spin move a la
Dwight Freeney.
Yeah, Dwight Freeney, exactly. And really caused problems there in the backfield.
Loss of 5 back to the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 15 for Travis Marshall and the Cougar offense. Alpharetta Raiders defense trying to make something happen here and get the football back. Now Marshall's in big trouble back at his own 5, and he's going to throw that one away. Nearest man to it was Miles Hill, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 15.
When you've got big number 79, Devon Isaac, chasing you, it's time to make a decision, and it's time to make a decision really, really fast. And give credit to the Chattahoochee quarterback. He saw he didn't have anything. He didn't keep the ball to try to take the hit or run out of bounds to lose the field position. He threw it away, which put him back up to the original line of scrimmage.
Showing good smarts there, getting rid of that football. 3rd down and 15, another big play for the Raider defense, trying to get the football back after the missed field goal and get that offense back onto the field. Marshall with a single setback as protection, going to go QB draw this time. He's going to get out to the 20, but that's it, back to the original line of scrimmage, and the defense holds for Alpharetta, so exactly what they needed on the defensive side for the Raiders, Chris, and should have pretty good field position here, or better with Carlos Burst dropping back deep to receive.
Yeah, Chattahoochee did not want to make any mistakes. They gave it to their quarterback just to give them a little green behind them, and as you mentioned, Carlos Burst, dangerous return man here in this region.
Abdullahi, the junior punter, back in. He'll stand at his own 9. Carlos Burst stands at his own 40. Approaching 3 minutes to play, rapidly moving opening quarter. And Abdullahi with a soccer-style punt. And Burst is going to have no choice but to let this bounce. Takes a good Cougar bounce and goes out of bounds at the Raider 34-yard line. And Dobbs and company will go back to work just like that, Chris. So the 3 and out, the best medicine for that offense. Get them back on the field and take away a little of that sour taste from that demoralizing, stalled, and pretty much incomplete drive.
After a pretty good kick by Chattahoochee, I think it netted about 46 yards. And Kevin, you're former kicker. That soccer-style kick it's tough to field because you're not going to get that. Most of the time, you're not going to get that pretty, beautiful spiral that's going to turn over and come right down to you. It's kind of a side kick, and it's going to wobble, it's going to bounce, and it normally bounces in the favor of the kicking team.
It's a great option against a dangerous return man like Carlos Burst. Good strategy there. They're going to keep that outside the hash marks and shrink the field and keep Burst contained so they can control the return game. First down and 10 from the 34-yard line. Dobbs to throw over the middle. That is caught and dropped. Rodney Morris had it. Looked like he had some room running the crossing pattern, and it will be second down and 10 from the 34.
Kevin, no secret what's going to happen here with Alpharetta until the Cougars fill the gaps in the middle of the right behind the line of scrimmage. Alpharetta is going to run. They're going to 8 to 10 yard the Cougars to death, or at least attempt to anyway.
Everything short within the 5-6 yard range is there underneath the linebackers for Dobbs. They're going to give it on the ground. Again, they go with Julian Macon, and that left side opens up for him across midfield to the 47-yard line, and they're into Cougar territory. So, Chris, everything working right now for the Raiders. Cougar defense with no answers.
And continuing going up the middle with the running back, across the middle with the crossing patterns to the receivers. Everything's working right now except for putting points on the board.
Single setback for Dobbs out of the shotgun. Stephon Perry gets the call, and he'll have a couple toward the 45, maybe the 46-yard line, and bring up a second down and 8.
Looks like O.J. Thompson in on the tackle, along with Dwayne Bartholomew.
Both teams going with no huddle on offense here tonight. Perry stays in, lone setback now with Josh Dobbs. League's leading passer, steps and fires to the outside. He's got Burst. Burst puts a move on the defender and buys himself about 5 yards inside the 35. That will be good enough for a Raider first down, and he is fired up down there, as is that sideline. Chris, they know they've got what it takes to win this football game tonight. They've got to execute to completion.
And Kevin, the great thing about Burst is he doesn't just settle for the yards he gets when he catches the ball. Even if there's contact, he is leaning forward, he is moving. He created another 3 or 4 yards of positive field position after he got touched.
Sorry, Chris, he's a good-looking receiver out there. Good strength, good size, and he's got the football at the 30 with a block. And he's just going to push the defender. Still breaking tackles. Look at Carlos Burst. Look at the effort. Yards after contact, Chris, probably 12 yards down to about the 10, 11-yard line. Right on cue, Carlos Burst showing the strength.
You know, I mentioned at the beginning of the game, one of the things you got to watch is this kid. He's elusive, he's strong, he's tall, he's got all the skills. And the man that's covering him is a veteran in the secondary, Josh Hearn. He's just having problems with the multiple talents of Carlos Burst.
Perry on the draw inside the 10 after a gain of a couple. So they showed the 3-wide stack to the outside, Chris, and go with the inside give after they stretch the defensive formation. Raiders offense showing good variety here in the first quarter. 1:20 to play in the opening quarter. Cougars lead by 3, but once again, Raiders threatening. Dobbs to fire. That's knocked down and intercepted at the 15-yard line. Majid Bilal finally brought down at the 41, and again, a mistake stalls the drive for Alpharetta. What a great defensive play by number 55, Majid Bilal. And just when I said they were showing great variety and doing a great job, Chris, another superb play on defense by the Cougars.
Very opportunistic, I guess the word right now for the Chattahoochee defense. They are saving their bacon, so to speak, and they've done it 2 times here in the first half. And the scoreboard does not indicate the domination of the Alpharetta offense, but it does indicate the opportunistic abilities of the Chattahoochee defense.
Very hard to call the run of play in this one, Chris. It has been the Alpharetta Raiders moving up and down the field on the Cougars, but when they get inside the red zone, a missed field goal and now an interception, second turnover of the football game. And Chris, you could almost call the missed field goal a turnover when you go 75 yards when you need 80 and you come up empty. So once again, Travis Marshall goes back to work inside Alpharetta territory. The second time they've started a drive inside Raider territory. Marshall with plenty of time now scrambles to his right, and he's in trouble. And there's your man, Chris. Big number 79, Devon Isaac, all the way back to midfield, a loss of 8.
And Kevin, as talented as this Chattahoochee quarterback is, eventually he's going to have to get rid of the football because there's no room at all. The Alpharetta secondary has locked down Chattahoochee's receivers. They are not giving up anything, and this quarterback has to make the right decisions.
Inside 30 seconds, and we're going to have a timeout called on the field. And it will be Alpharetta taking their first timeout with 28.3 to remain in the first quarter. And Chris, for Marshall back there scrambling, he's really got to keep his head on a swivel. He's got Devon Isaac coming at him from one side and Naeem Mustafa on the other. He's got to hear those footsteps. Those are two big athletic defensive ends.
And Kevin, if you just looked at the stats of the first quarter without looking at the scoreboard, you would have to think that Alpharetta would be leading and leading comfortably because they've been running the football at will. They've been passing the football at will. But give Chattahoochee's defense credit. They have stepped up when they needed to. They stopped Alpharetta on a big third down conversion and forced the Raiders to try a field goal, which they did not make. And then Alpharetta was just demoralizing, and I don't know if that's a proper word, Chattahoochee's defense there, but the big play by big number 55, Bilal, stopped that. Chattahoochee's doing what they need to do.
And Chris, you hate to say that the defense is keeping the Raiders in the game, but so far, after the missed field goal, they got a 3-and-out, and now they have forced Marshall back into a 2nd down and 19. So out of the timeout with 28-3 remaining in the first quarter, here's Marshall on a deep drop. They're going to go screen pass, and that's going to work to perfection. Chase Nelson picks up the first down on 3rd down or 2nd down and 19. They get 22. First down for Chattahoochee.
Kevin,
how about that call?
Excellent play call. It took advantage of the anticipation of the Raiders. The Raiders did a good job of getting pressure on Chattahoochee, but that's exactly what you call. You call the little screen and a huge play and a first down for the Cougars.
And the horn will sound. That will be the final play of the first quarter here at Raiders Stadium. Very entertaining. A lot of talking points going on here, and still a very close ball game. 3-0 your score. Chattahoochee on top. Hey, football fans, remember, if you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight, tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. After 1, it's Chattahoochee 3, Alpharetta nothing. We'll be right back. Second quarter action begins with Marshall. They go right side on the keeper, option right side, and nothing doing. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage for Travis Marshall, and that's going to be about it. So once again, the Raiders counting on this defense to get the football back and give it one more try on offense, Chris. They've done everything they want to do on offense except put points on the board. 2nd down and 10 for Marshall. Single setback is Chase Nelson. 4 wide out set for the Cougars. Marshall to throw right down the middle, and he's got a man wide open at the 5-yard line and brought down Avery Ward on the receiving end. It looked like Tyler Keeley there to save the touchdown. And Chris, these guys are throwing it all over the park here tonight.
Ward found a gap in that secondary. Looks like they were lined up for a zone. Ward ran right behind the linebackers and right in front of the secondary and made a great catch and a big first down for Chattahoochee.
So they finally find a way through that Raider defense. First down and goal. They're going to go to the corner route, and that is tipped and incomplete. Intended receiver Colin Lisa over there. They like that play, Chris, to the corner route to Lisa.
And Kevin, I tell you what, you and I are set up right here at just at the top of the stands. People keep filing in. This has got to be one of, if not the best crowds we've had this season. It wouldn't surprise me if they have 3,000-4,000 people in the stadium tonight.
They're standing in the aisles here at Raider Stadium, Chris. There are no seats available. We have a couple good ones, but that's about it. Now, can the Raider defense one more time stand tall and stop Marshall and company from getting into the end zone? Travis once again in the shotgun. They're going to go option with Marshall. He dives across the line, and they do get in. Touchdown, Cougars. Travis Marshall on the option keeps it, and they finally break through and get 6.
The linebackers bit on the play fake. Marshall very good, kept it and dove across the line. Very, very impressive for Chattahoochee. They come right back and extend their lead. That's a botched snap.
Extra point is no good. So once again, Chris, little asterisks on the score sheet we have to keep in mind for later on in the ball game. So the extra point fails, and it's 9-0 Chattahoochee.
Points after turnovers, Kevin, so important after that big interception. Chattahoochee took the ball and came down the field and put a touchdown on the board and extended their lead to 9-0.
So after the interception by Majid Bilal, the Cougars do cash in, and they get 6 instead of 7 to make it 9-0. And once again, the high-powered offense of the Alpharetta Raiders will get on the football field. And Chris, it's not like they haven't been able to get in scoring position. I mean, they have really done everything they want to do except punch it in right now, and that has got to change because the Cougars look like they are just as lethal behind Travis Marshall.
And I'm sure if you're Chattahoochee, we'll bend, but we won't break, and that's what has happened here in the first 13 minutes or so of the ball game. Chattahoochee's defense doing what they need to do to keep themselves in the game and keep points off the board for Alpharetta, and then their offense being very effective, taking the turnovers and turning them into points as well.
Looking for a good return here, but that's not going to happen. A great kick by Abdullawi, and he drives it through the end zone for a touchback. So that will force Alpharetta to go the distance to try to get something happening and get on the board. First down and 10 from the 20. Raiders go back to work, trying to avoid the mistakes that have kept them scoreless here so far. Just underway, second quarter from Raiders Stadium, along with the big man, Chris King. This is Kevin Beck, Jason, our producer, and Kenny on the camera. A beautiful night for football. It's a pink out here at Alpharetta Stadium, and it is a good one. Packed house, everyone supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month in full force. We are pleased to be with you on PlayOnSports.com. Can't beat Georgia High School Association football on a Friday night, and we're going to have flags before the snap.
May have taken a little bit too much time.
Flag came in from the secondary. Dead ball foul substitution against the Cougars.
Okay.
So there's a free 5.
Penalty against the Cougars.
You never want to see that happen, but especially
coming out
of, after a kick.
Just the Raiders 5 yards ahead.
So sideline execution going to cost them 5 over there on the Chattahoochee side.
Illegal substitution, that last penalty.
And back to work, Josh Dobbs. They're going to try the run to the right side, and nothing happening over there at all. Julian Macon going to lose a couple.
Tackled in the backfield.
Back toward the 20-yard line. Look at the 21.
Looks like it was Nate Sherman.
Number 18, Natan Sherman.
So that Cougar defense starting to flex its muscles a little bit too, Chris. They've watched the Alpharetta defense out there really showing off, and they're going to have a little bit of their own. So give back a couple of yards on the substitution foul. Call it second down and 8 for the Raiders, just outside their own 20. Dobbs from the shotgun and draws the defense offside. Looked like number 54, a little eager
That was
J.C.
the
Alvarado, the sophomore.
Encroachment against the Cougars.
So give 5 back instead of 2nd down and 8. A very manageable 2nd down and 3 for the Raiders. And Chris, that opens up the playbook very nicely for Josh Dobbs.
May not be a bad idea to try to go downfield on this play.
They're going to go option. Dobbs is going to hold on to it. Trying the near side. Run down from behind. A great job there by Brian Sykes, the senior, to run him down outside the 30. That'll be very close and should be good enough for a Raider first down.
Dobbs gets beyond the 30 to the 33.
So good call there on the option. Dobbs takes it on himself and gets the job done. First down, Alpharetta. Just inside 10 minutes to play in the first half. 9:55 to play second quarter. 3 wideouts to the top now for Dobbs. They go hurry up. And he's going to roll behind that formation and fire far side out of the reach of his intended receiver, Adam Schildhammer. And that'll be 2nd down and 10.
It's good defense over there by Chattahoochee.
On coverage is number 2, Bartholomew.
And they are going hurry up on the Alpharetta side. Guys hurrying back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys could take a page out of that and learn something from it.
Kevin, looks like Alpharetta's offense may have slowed just a bit.
The Cougars have had a couple opportunities to figure out Dobbs and company and make the adjustments. 2nd down and 10 from the Raider 32. Dobbs fires quick flanker screen. Great job on defense to snuff it out. Number 23, first man to get in there. Kieran Ashley, the junior.
First in was number 23, Kieran Ashley.
Nice job there, Chris. They really sniffed out that flanker screen, even with the setup blocking. Ashley able to break through and make the tackle. 3rd down and a long 9 for that Raider offense.
Hadn't called Bursch's name in a while, nor have we called Julian Makins.
Could be Carlos Burst time right now. 3rd and long. Dobbs looking to throw. Fires over the middle, looking for Burst. And that's broken up with a great defensive play. Josh Hearn reaching in and knocking it away.
And Hearn's he's got an assignment tonight, but that time he timed his defensive play that time. Did a really good job, and the Raiders are going to have to punt the football.
So the Cougar defense holds. And again, the Raiders offense comes up empty, but this time unable to move the football as they did in the first quarter up and down the field on Chattahoochee. And this time they are going to have to give up the football.
See if we have this soccer-style kick again.
It's going to be a wobbler, and it'll be out of bounds.
Chattahoochee's going to end up with pretty decent field position.
34-yard line is where the Cougars will go to work. So Evan Trout, pretty good job there. Didn't get the bounce he was looking for. And here comes Travis Marshall once again, brimming with confidence, Chris. They have done a very nice job of moving the football. Alpharetta's defense has held them a couple of times, but not when it mattered. Travis Marshall with a 7-yard TD run. Last time they had the football, looking for more. Plenty of time until halftime, 8:45.
Got C.J. Leggett in the backfield with him.
And here is Marshall with plenty of time to throw. Flag comes in. And Marshall's going to take off and slide down. A very, very wise move there at the 40. He will go down. He had a couple guys that had him in the crosshairs. Naeem Mustafa being one of them, Chris. And Bryce Gross over there was ready to lower the boom on him.
And on top of that, the penalty was against Chattahoochee for holding.
Yeah, that was pretty much a no-brainer there on that call. It was about a tackle there on the right side. So these guys trying to slow down Mustafa and Devon Isaac. So there you go, Chris. Once again, you shoot yourself in the foot. You find yourself deep in your own territory now, and that's a spot foul. So first down, but a long, long way to go. They need the 44. Line of scrimmage is going to be the 18-yard line.
Don't have to get it all back at one time.
First down and 24 for the Chattahoochee Cougars. Here's Marshall with plenty of time in the pocket, and he's going to tuck it under and run. And he's not going to get much out to the 18-yard line where the Raiders defense collapses on him.
big Devon Isaac.
And Chris, those are some large individuals down there on that Raider offensive line. You look at number 99, Naeem Mustafa, number 79, Devon Isaac, the bookends down there. And don't forget about Andrew Butcher, just a sophomore, number 58. Second and a bunch, they keep it on the ground and nothing doing at all. Devon Isaac once again, penetration and the wrap-up. That's a loss back to the 16-yard line. Third down and 28. Sorry, Chris.
It wouldn't surprise me if Chattahoochee ran something similar to what they ran last time, just to try to get a couple more yards and give room for their punter to get rid of the ball.
Have an official timeout, a conference in the offensive backfield.
Looks like C.J. Leggett was having a little bit of equipment problems.
Unsportsmanlike.
So they're
against the Cougars. That will hurt.
Yeah, it's a rival game, and there's guys out there probably jacking their jaws, so to speak, saying a few things they shouldn't say.
I didn't see the flag fly, Chris, but the officials were very definitive about their. Oh, it's a sideline. I'm sorry, okay. Sideline violation.
Against Chattahoochee.
They didn't march it back. Was it declined?
Unless it was just the first warning. Here's Marshall to throw. Plenty of time. Thinks about running. And changes his mind again. Caught and then hammered at the 22-yard line. Miles Hill on the reception, but he is drilled.
Looks like it was DeAndre Watkins.
He did a nice job just holding on to that football. Watkins drilled him in the ribcage for the short gain out to the 23. So there's Mr. Danger back there at his own 35-yard line, and the Raiders have got to be counting on him to make something happen and get this capacity crowd back into the football game.
Kevin, the last time Chattahoochee kicked the ball away from Burst, which is what I would do.
Now, Abdulawi used the rugby stalker-style kick last time. Let's see if he does that again. And he is. He rolls to the near side. A good high wobbler. Not great distance, but a good Chattahoochee bounce inside the 35, and that's where it will be down. Burst just can do nothing but watch it come to rest at the 32-yard line. And the Raiders will go back to work with 6:02 until halftime. They trailed 9-0.
Another impressive kick, 45 yards on that one, Kevin.
And Chris, all things considered, the Raiders are very much in this football game, and they could very well be ahead in this thing if not for the mistakes and a couple of great defensive plays. Let's not take anything away from the Cougars' defense in thwarting Josh Dobbs and company. Dobbs, as we said, leading passer in the league coming into this game tonight, but he has been unable to break through so far against the Cougars. 4 wideouts, single protection in the backfield with him, Stephon Perry. And Dobbs wants to throw. Short drop, fires near side, and that's caught at the 38-yard line and inbounds. A nice job on the reception. Daniel Clements seems to be his real possession receiver kind of guy, Chris. Dobbs goes to him with confidence.
Definitely a timing route. Clements did what he needed to do. He came off his feet and grabbed the ball.
Clock continues to run on the reception. Inbounds, 5:37 to play until halftime. The home Raiders trail 9-0. Josh Dobbs looking to lead them back. All out blitz, they go screen near side, and that's going to bounce incomplete. Intended receiver was Stephon Perry, but the blocking on the screen broke down, and Dobbs had to get rid of it prematurely. 3rd down and 4.
A couple of missed assignments coming up the middle that time. Michael Downing was one of the, check that. Brian Sykes was one of the guys in the Chattahoochee white that was putting the pressure on the quarterback.
From the 39-yard line, we'll call it 3rd and a long 3 for the Raiders. They can ill afford to give the ball back to the Cougars. Dobbs to throw. Got a man at midfield and caught and complete. Rodney Morris on the crossing pattern right at midfield. That will move the chains and keep the drive alive for the Raiders.
It's almost as if the Raiders knew it was coming because the linebackers had stepped back like they weren't going to blitz, but then they came forward, which opened up that crossing pattern right across the middle.
Got to keep an eye on Dobbs. He will tuck the ball and take off. They're going to go to Perry this time, and he might get one. Not much happening there in the middle. We're singing the praises of that Alpharetta defense, but they've got some pretty solid players on the defensive line for the Cougars as well, Chris.
Yeah, O.J. Thompson on the tackle that time, along with Mahid Bilal, who we called his name a few times, including that huge interception that he had for Chattahoochee earlier.
And a great return by the big man. He rumbled, bumbled, and stumbled his way back across midfield on that interception and set up the Cougars offense for that touchdown scoring drive. But the Raiders go back to work at midfield. First, let's make it 2nd down and 10. Dobbs to fire. Got a man on the far side, complete with room. Blake Rowlandson down to the 21-yard line. So the league's leading passer puts a few more yards in the books. And now the Raiders are in business. 4:26 to play until halftime. 1st down and 10 for the Raiders at the Cougar 24-yard line.
Kevin, give credit to the Alpharetta offensive line. They picked up the blitz very well and allowed their quarterback Dobbs to find the open receiver for the big 1st down.
They go to the hurry up this time. Perry on the option, dances to the outside, and he has got nothing there. Nate Sherman, the junior, first man to meet him, and they're going to lose a couple.
Nothing there. First in on the tackle, number 56.
Loss of 2 on the play after the forward progress. Moves the ball outside the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 12.
Miss Weisberg also in on the tackle, the sophomore linebacker.
From the 26.
Both teams with a pair of timeouts remaining in the first half. Clock running under 4 minutes. And we're going to have encroachment. So after the big defensive play, Chris, a lack of concentration by the Cougars gives their loss and a few more back.
And we've seen that a couple of times, including on the previous offensive series as well. Even something as simple as a sideline warning. A really lack of concentration right now for Chattahoochee. They need to settle down. They've given up that big passing play, but other than that, they've done a pretty good job of stifling the Raider offense thus far, although the Raiders are looking to put the ball in the end zone.
And this is the part of the field where they have stifled them, Chris. Every time they get down toward the red zone and threaten, they find a way to make a mistake or hold them. And that's a completion there. Looks like Clements on the receiving end again to the 14-yard line. That should be close enough for a measurement or a 1st down. And it looks like they will give them the 1st down.
And once again, that big cushion that the secondary is giving these Raider receivers is turning into about an 8 or 9 yard completion each and every time.
So that'll be a 1st down, and that gets the crowd a little bit back into this football game, Chris. They've got, as you said, thousands of folks in the park here tonight, and they have got to do something to get them fired up here. In the crosstown rivalry, the Chattahoochee Cougars and the Alpharetta Raiders here. October football on a Friday night in North Atlanta. Nothing better and nothing more exciting for sports fans. 1st down and 10 from the 14-yard line.
And Kevin, the Raiders have been here before. They need to take advantage of it.
No stranger to the red zone, but they have been exempt from the end zone. Here's Dobbs to throw with time. Now he's going to tuck it under and run with some space to the near side. Breaking tackles, hurdling tacklers inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. And now the Alpharetta crowd is back in the ball game.
He did what he needed to do. Didn't see anything happen. Didn't wait very long. Took that ball tucked, ran to the left side, and as you said, showed some track and field ability there and hurdled a couple of guys in the white jersey. And a big 1st down and goal for the homestanding Raiders.
Big, tall, strong quarterback, number 11, Josh Dobbs. 2nd down and short, so they can get a 1st down here inside the 5. Dobbs under center for one of the few times here tonight. And they're going to go in the give to Perry left side, and he's tripped up, or he was in at the corner inside the 3 to about the 2, Chris, and that'll be good enough for a 1st down. So 4 shots at the end zone with 2:10 to play and a pair of timeouts.
Looked like Kieran Ashley was a guy who made the shoestring tackle for Chattahoochee.
Perry came off a little gingerly on that ankle over to the near side and looks like he's going to be okay. 1st down and goal from the 2. The Raiders trail 9-0, looking to get the momentum back just before halftime. Here's Dobbs under center once again. They go motion behind him. This time, left side is going to work easily. Julian Macon in from 2, and the Raiders are on the board.
Icing on the cake finally for the Raiders. Another impressive drive. Didn't take very long. Benefited from a couple of Chattahoochee penalties, and the homestanding Raiders get on the board.
So, Chris, with an extra point, they get within 2. And how big is that botched PAT by the Cougars at the beginning of the second quarter? So here's Wallerin, the junior kicker. He missed a field goal attempt from 26, trying to make good on an extra point. It is up, and it is good. So the Raiders get back into it just before halftime. It's 9-7 Chattahoochee with 1:41 remaining. And that gets the crowd back into it here on the near sideline. And, Chris, we've got ourselves a football game.
Well, an opportunistic defense, which is what we called Chattahoochee's defense early on in the ball game, eventually is going to meet its match if they don't stand their ground and get some substantial stops each and every time. They did it a couple of times, but the Raiders came back and did what they needed to do. They took the ball, they fielded it on about their own 30-yard line, took the ball downfield very impressively, mixed it up a little bit in the air, on the ground, quarterback doing what he needed to do to gain some yards, and they put the ball in the end zone. Now here's the thing. 1:40 on the clock. Second half.
Second half, it will be the Cougars receiving.
So in the situation where Chattahoochee may want to try to get down, and if can't put 7 on the board, at least put a field goal through to extend their lead just a little bit, knowing that they will get the ball back at the beginning of the second half. And Kevin, that's what I like. I like having the ball at the beginning of the second half. I've said it so many times. You can extend your own lead, or if you're behind, you can take the lead, or if you're way behind, you can get yourself back in the ball game.
And, Chris, you can feel the collective exhale from not only the Raiders sideline, but this capacity crowd showing that, okay, we made a mistake, we missed a field goal, a couple of turnovers, we got back on the board, we're within 2 now, everybody can relax, we're in this football game. So we're set to go with 1:40 remaining in the first half. Line drive kickoff is deep. Justin Jackson fields it at his 1, and here he comes.
Good coverage.
Great coverage down at the 10-yard line. Flags fly in, and Jackson continues to go backwards, loops through his own end zone, and manages to make something out of nothing to the 11, but we're going to have to sort out the flag.
Yes, somebody blocked in the back.
And that would be a tough way to go out for Alpharetta after doing a fantastic job on coverage to give up some free yardage with a mistake. And conversely, if it's against the Cougars, they put themselves in a hole. Remember, the Raiders have 2 timeouts left.
And it's holding against
And it's going to be a holding call against Chattahoochee. That will move them back inside the 10-yard line. So, Chris, you go with your strategy now, a couple of defensive stops, get those timeouts. You might have yourself an opportunity here if you're Alpharetta before that halftime whistle.
Come in, maybe put 3 between the uprights, but let's see what Chattahoochee does. They've got a pretty smart quarterback over there.
So just like that, Travis Marshall and company go to work inside their own 10 at the 7-yard line. Marshall in the shotgun. They're going to run motion behind him. And Miles Hill going to get the carry. Plenty of room up the middle. And just like that, Chris, that strategy goes out the window. That'll stop the clock. 1:16 to play until halftime. And now the Cougars are outside the shadow of their own goalpost. They have a single timeout remaining. No, check that. I'm sorry, Chris. 2 timeouts remaining.
A couple of linebackers
for Chattahoochee
really thought that the quarterback was going to keep the ball, and they bit, and that's what opened up a huge hole up the middle.
Great play action that time by Travis Marshall. 3-man rush by the Raiders. Marshall to throw. In trouble in his own backfield. Now scrambles out of trouble. Finds a man on the far sideline who gets out of bounds. That's Alec Rubin, the senior wideout. That's great execution there, Chris. Just like that, Marshall manages to get his team out there to near the 40-yard line. They're going to call it the 39 with 2 timeouts and 1:06 remaining. And you work that strategy the other way. And here come the Cougars with a chance to pad their lead. First and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Marshall with all day to throw. Flags coming in. Looks like it's going to be a holding call, so no matter what, we'll have to sort that out. Pass is incomplete to Avery Ward at midfield. And that flag flew in right in the neighborhood of holding.
And Kevin, you mentioned how impressive that defensive line is for Alpharetta. And what's happening now is the Alpharetta defensive line is starting to penetrate just a little bit, and Chattahoochee's answer, until they can come up with something else, is to grab a jersey. We've seen that a couple of times here on this drive. On the initial kickoff, there was a jersey that was grabbed. Right here, there was a jersey that was grabbed. And you mentioned those guys. When you got Mustafa coming at you, when you've got guys like a big Devon Isaac coming at you, and they're just pinning their ears and coming straight and forcing Chattahoochee to grab anything they can.
And that's going to kill the momentum that the Cougars had as they were coming out of their deep in their own zone and looking for more here at the end of the first half. But right now, Marshall just going to have to protect the football. On 1st down and 22, they're going to go screen far side. Chase Nelson has a couple, and he is tripped up at about the 25, 26-yard line. Out of bounds, that'll stop the clock. 43.3 to play until halftime.
Yeah, it looked like Trey Whitaker got in there and snuffed that attempt.
And I think Marshall gives the screen away, Chris, because he generally doesn't drop back like that. So when he starts to backpedal, some of these savvy defensive linemen from Alpharetta are keen to it, and the secondary back him up. So they're starting to read that screen by Marshall. Flags fly before the snap. And that has got the folks over there on the Chattahoochee sideline say, we want to talk this over. It will be the second of 3 timeouts for Chattahoochee, 43.3 remaining. And they find themselves in a pretty deep hole right now, Chris.
Yeah, they had made their way, the Cougars had, all the way up to about the 40-yard line. And then a couple of penalties marched them back inside the 30-yard line. It'll be interesting to see what happens as they come back up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they're going to have a single timeout left, Kevin, and under 44 seconds to go.
Want to remind our fans to stick around for the halftime show. A very special night here, Breast Cancer Awareness Month in full swing, and a pink out here at Raider Stadium. So we want you guys to stick around and check out all the halftime activity here from Alpharetta. But we've still got 43.3 seconds to settle this one. A slim 2-point lead for the Chattahoochee Cougars over the Alpharetta Raiders. And it is second and a very short bus ride for the Cougars back at their own 26-yard line. Coming out of the timeout, let's see what they go to in the playbook. On 2nd and very long, it's going to be Marshall on the give this time. Looks like Dwayne Bartholomew, first touch for him here tonight. Oh, check that. C.J. Leggett, Chris, on the carry.
Looks like Alex Barrand on the tackle, I should say.
And we're going to have a timeout called by Alpharetta. So Alpharetta thinking right now, Chris, we can get a good punt return, maybe get Carlos Burst with his hands on the ball. We could have a shot at 3. So they're going to use a timeout. They have 1 remaining. It's 3rd down and a bunch from the 26-yard line for the Cougars.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage makes a big difference. As I mentioned earlier, 3 plays ago, Cougars had 1st down just inside their own 40-yard line. And now, a couple of plays later, they're faced with 3rd and long, and a good potential to have to give the ball back to the Raiders late here in the first half.
So it gives the Cougars an opportunity to go to the playbook out of the timeout. 1 timeout remaining for both sides. 35.1 seconds remaining until halftime. So we'll see what Travis Marshall and the Chattahoochee Cougars come up with here. Do or die time. If they can't pick up that big yardage, they need their own 49 for the 1st down. That sets up Alpharetta with an opportunity to get the football back. Here's Marshall on play action, rolling far side, nearly loses his balance. And he's going to be tracked down and knocked down at the 34-yard line. That's going to be the final timeout for Alpharetta with 25.1. So Chris, Dobbs and company will get the football back, but no timeouts.
And Kevin, Chattahoochee looked like they just wanted to get as many yards as they could and run as much clock as they could.
I think Travis Marshall would probably like to have that one back. He took a pretty big lick over there on the far side. Almost lost his balance, Chris. That would have been catastrophic for the Cougars for him to lose yardage again on the rollout. But as it is right now, it looks like Abdelouis is going to probably stand somewhere around his own 22 or 3 yard line when he kicks this ball. And if Carlos Burst has anything to say about it, the Raiders will have a chance to at least get a field goal attempt up here before the halftime.
And Kevin, it wouldn't surprise me a bit if the Raiders put 10 on the line and come after the football. Nothing to lose, even if they rough the kicker. The worst case scenario is you give Chattahoochee a couple of more plays, but highly unlikely Chattahoochee having enough time to put some points on the board.
So Burst drops back. He'll stand around his own 35-yard line. Abdullawi will punt from about his 23. Again, the soccer rugby-style punter.
The Raiders have set up for a return, it looks like.
Burst has not had much luck tracking down these punts. And here's Abdullawi again. A good high wobbler. Burst looks like he's going to get his hands on this one. Tries to short hop it, and it takes a huge Chattahoochee bounce, and it's down at the 11. Did Burst touch the football? The Cougars say he did, and they're going to say he did.
Wow, what a huge play.
Big mental mistake by Burst. He's holding his hands up like he didn't touch the football. He tried to short hop it like an outfielder, and this is catastrophic for the Raiders. Oh, my goodness gracious.
And I tell you what, Kevin, if Burst did not touch the ball, I really hate it for him. But come on, you got to get out of the way of that ball. That ball is, you are almost at full speed trying to run forward and catch that football. You move out of the way, you let that ball bounce, you take your chances. Huge break for Chattahoochee.
Trying too hard to make something happen, and it backfires all over him, Chris. He has got to get away from that football, and now the Cougars, 13.9 seconds. They're 1st and 10 from the Raider 13-yard line, and they've got a timeout. Wow, how things have changed here in the last 5 seconds. Marshall to throw with plenty of time, looking into the end zone, and looks like a miscommunication there. Nothing doing, incomplete. 6.2 seconds, and it looks like they are going to go ahead and trot out the field goal unit and try to pad that lead, Chris. So instead of the Raiders having an opportunity to take the lead with a late field goal in the first half, here come the Cougars with a chance to pad their lead. Huge turn of events.
And that's almost as good as a turnover, Kevin.
Absolutely, that is definitely a turnover. And it didn't help that that thing took a huge, huge Cougar bounce when Burst missed it. Abdullawi, the junior place kicker, going to tee it up from 29 yards out, right hash. Avery Ward is the holder.
We have seen him miss an extra point.
Big moment in the ball game. The snap, the set, and the kick. It's a good distance on it, and it's good right through there. And just like that, at the end of the first half, Chris, remember, the Cougars started, well, basically that possession, for all intents and purposes, back inside their own 10. And a huge miscue by Carlos Burst costs the Raiders 3. We go to halftime, 12-7. How about that turn of events here at Raiders Stadium?
Now, the coaches are pointing to the board when the ball went through. It was actually 1.2 seconds left on the clock, and then the clock started again, and the horn went off. That's what the coaches are on the field talking about right now.
And they are talking it over. The teams are leaving the field for halftime, and I don't think that they're going to get any joy from those officials with their protest, Chris. So the bands get ready to take the field at halftime. It's 12-7 Chattahoochee on top. And football fans, remember, Play On Sports is on Facebook and all over Twitter as we give you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us 24/7 on Facebook and Twitter from wherever you are on PlayOnSports.com. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. That's the end of the first half from Raiders Stadium with the score, the Chattahoochee Cougars 12 and the Alpharetta Raiders 7. We'll be back with a halftime show right after this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
gentlemen, introducing the Alpharetta High School Marching Raider Band. Presenting their 2012 show, welcome to That was the 2012 Chattahoochee Cougar Marching Band.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com's Friday night game of the week for the Georgia High School Association from Raider Stadium in Alpharetta, Georgia, where the Chattahoochee Cougars lead the Alpharetta Raiders 12-7, and we are moments away from second half kickoff. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Beck with you, along with the big man, Chris King, our producer Jason, and Kenny on the camera, bringing you the best high school action anywhere in the country from right here in the Peach State. Just about 30 miles north of the city of Atlanta, and things are about to heat up here at Raiders Stadium, Chris. A tale of, well, not two halves, two quarters pretty much in the first half. Both teams with plenty of opportunities, and by rights this thing should probably be 21-17 the other way. But we've had a lot of ups and downs and some letdowns and a couple of great plays on defense.
A missed field goal early by the Raiders. A huge interception while the Raiders were driving by, that was a Mahid Bilal. And a strange play there near the end of the first half where it looked like Carlos Burst, maybe he got a little bit too anxious and ran up and was going to try to make a play on the football. The officials claimed that Burst touched the football. The ball took a huge Chattahoochee roll. The Cougars got on top of the ball deep in Raider territory and kicked the field goal right before halftime, and thus we are sitting here with our score.
And Chris, it really looked like a center fielder charging a little flare into center, not coming up with it, and the ball rolling to the wall. And again, the referees did determine that Burst touched the football as he tried to make the play, and the Cougars pounced on it down on the 10-yard line. Ran out of time essentially in the half. They only had about 6 seconds remaining, and they had to go for the field goal. A couple more seconds, they might have let Travis Marshall take one more shot at the end zone. And just like that, a 9-7 lead swells to 12-7, and the Cougars will get the football to start the third quarter.
And that's the most important stat. If Chattahoochee can come down, put the football in the end zone for 7, then that's a huge lead in this particular game where it's been close. But, it's kind of, I would say, back and forth, but the Raiders have, for the most part, dominated the statistical categories. But where it counts on the scoreboard, Chattahoochee has the lead.
Total yards definitely heavily in favor of the home Raiders, but that doesn't matter. The scoreboard is where it counts, and right now the Cougars 12-7 over the Raiders. Josh Dobbs, the star quarterback for the Alpharetta Raiders, has had a wonderful evening so far. They have not been able to punch it in. A couple of trips down to the red zone, one thwarted by a missed field goal, the other thwarted by, as you said, Mahid Bilal's great interception. Looked like he was really just going up to block the ball, but it fell into his lap, and he took off. The big man, the linebacker, with about a 35 or 40-yard return into Alpharetta territory, and Travis Marshall took it from there and punched in the first touchdown of the football game.
And Kevin, I guess it could be you could pretty much determine that Chattahoochee played a cleaner first half. The Raiders played a more exciting first half, but they had a few more turnovers and a few more problems. And because of the clean game of Chattahoochee in the first half, they take this lead going into the third quarter.
And again, as we mentioned, the Alpharetta Raiders won the toss at the beginning of the football game, and they took the football. And right now that is going to backfire on them as they get ready to kick to the Cougars. So the defense going to have to stand tall from the outset in this one. And we are just about set to go from Raider Stadium with third quarter action again. Welcome to Friday night second half action. A pink out here and an absolutely packed Raider Stadium in Alpharetta. And once again, the Raiders have got to get something going and get this crowd into the football game. And we are set to go. Thomas Waller kicks it deep, and this will drive Justin Jackson into the end zone. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Cougars to start the second half at their own 20-yard line. They lead 12-7. So the Raiders will call on their defense.
And Kevin, Chattahoochee has to know they're going to have to put more points on the board. That Raider offense, they're going to put some points on the board in the second half if they keep moving the ball the way they were. And you got to think that the Raiders are going to clean up a couple of those turnovers and not be as turnover deficient as they were in the first half.
Here we go, third quarter action. Travis Marshall, the quarterback for the Chattahoochee Cougars, from the shotgun. Looking left side and firing. Got a man on the run at the 40-yard line. A great pitch and catch. John Sanders on the receiving end. Oh, check that. Colin Lisa, again, he has been a nice target for Travis Marshall here tonight. Gone to him a couple of times in the end zone, this time on the go pattern, and Marshall hit him in stride. Great way to start the third quarter for the Cougars. Big first down pickup just shy of their own 40-yard line. Marshall once again with plenty of time. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to be forced to scramble, and he is clobbered and knocked out of bounds after a gain of 2.
A good penetration that time by the Raider defense. And go back to that first play. I mentioned that Chattahoochee knows they're going to have to put some points on the board. We've seen previous games where teams with the lead have come out at the beginning of the second half and kind of try to play ball control. 3, 4, 5 yards a play and try to knock some time off their clock. You can't do this against Alpharetta because their offense is so dangerous. They're going to have to put some more points on the football.
Alpharetta comes in averaging just under 35 points a game. The Cougars have held them to a first half total of 7. And here comes Marshall once again. Quick throw to the outside. Incomplete at the 44-yard line. Intended receiver over there, Alec Rubin. And that's going to be incomplete. So third down and 10, so a big moment right out of the gate here for the Alpharetta defense, Chris. Third down and 10, trying to get the football back and force the Cougars into essentially a 4, 5, or 6 and out.
May not be a bad time for one of those little screens to the outside, or maybe Travis Marshall tuck the ball under and run.
3rd down and 10 from their own 40. Cougars with the first possession of the second half. Marshall looking to convert. Plenty of time in the pocket. Got a man wide open at the 40-yard line, and that is going to be incomplete. A great defensive play over there to knock the football loose.
Looks like Chase Stratton on the defense that time for the Raiders.
Great job by Stratton to knock that ball loose, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Raiders to start the third quarter, Chris, to get a little momentum and get this big crowd involved in this thing. Thousands of folks here tonight, and that is not an exaggeration. This place is absolutely standing room only here in Alpharetta. Abdullawi once again, rugby-style punter in the direction of Burse. He's going to field this one and try to make something happen. Looking for some redemption. Evades a couple of tacklers down there at the 18. They're going to say progress to the 20, and they will go to work at their own 20-yard line. So once again, here comes Josh Dobbs, the league's leading passer, and right now they need him, Chris, trailing by 5.
That's exactly what the Raider defense wanted to do. They gave up a first down to give Chattahoochee, but they stiffened, got the ball back, and now they can bring their very potent offense onto the field.
So, Chris, now we get a chance to see what kind of adjustments have been made by both locker rooms. See what the Cougars decide to do against Josh Dobbs. They stifled him in the second quarter. Looked like they had his number. Let's see how they come out. A spread formation for the Raiders to start the third quarter. Quick throw over the middle, and that is going to be ruled as a catch. A nice job on the receiving end by Blake Rowlandson. Dobbs with a bullet to the breadbasket, and it's held onto by Rowlandson. Gain of about 7 on the play.
And Kevin, I'd like to see a little bit more of Julian Macon. He didn't touch the ball very many times in the first half, but when he did touch the ball, he was very effective.
Good things happen when number 25 got the football in the first half. We're going to have an officials conversation down there at the spot. And now it looks like they're ready to punch the clock and get ready to go. So after a nice pass to Rowlandson from Dobbs, the Raiders face a 2nd down and 3. Call it a long 2 now. Dobbs in the shotgun looking for the signal from the sideline. They're going to go up the middle this time. And right on cue, Chris, there is Macon. And they were waiting for him in the center of that defensive formation. Very short gain, close to a first down. I think it's going to be one of those right foot, left foot situations that we talk about so much, Chris, to determine the first down yardage. And they're going to say no. They're going to say inches.
A couple of seniors on the tackle that time, Brian Sykes and Justin Jackson.
So 3rd down and probably the laces for a first down. And it looks like they may even bring the chains across, Chris. It's that close that they might run the chain gang out there onto the football field. The nose of the football just casting a shadow on the 30, and that's what they needed for the first down. So a chance for the coaching staff to converse on both sides of the field. A free timeout, if you will. 9:40 to play, third quarter just underway from Raiders Stadium. We are thrilled to have you with us for the Alpharetta Derby, if you will. Chattahoochee and Alpharetta, crosstown rivals, here to settle this one tonight.
And Kevin, if it is short, I don't know how short it would be. It is, the nose is on the 30-yard line.
And it looks like, Chris, about a half a football. So 3rd down and very short. Looks like they need to just about cross the 30 to pick up the first down. So a big moment here for the offense. They just need the nose of the football. Here's Dobbs in the shotgun, spread formation on 3rd down and inches. They trail by 5. First possession for the home Raiders in the second half. Give it to Macon this time. Good play action, and it's going to be Dobbs on the keep, and he's loose down the sideline. Tremendous ball action in the backfield. Everybody looking at Macon, and out comes Dobbs on the near sideline. Big pickup, big moment, and a big first down inside Cougar territory.
And Macon was just as dangerous on that play without the ball than he was with the ball, because he took about 2 or 3 linebackers with him and allowed Dobbs to break to the outside and get a big gain there on 3rd down.
2 or 3 linebackers and this announcer all went after Macon when it was Dobbs with the football. 1st down and 10 at their own 49. Dobbs to fire over the middle, and that is a nice diving catch. No, they're going to say incomplete. Blake Rowlandson with a nice effort there. They went back to the well over the middle with Rowlandson, and it was just too sharp for him. Couldn't hold on. 2nd down and 10. Raider football at their own 49-yard line.
Checking into the game for the Raiders, number 23. That's Adam Shieldhammer.
Shieldhammer had a big catch in the first half. Max protects back there with Dobbs right now on 2nd down and 10. With time, he fires far side looking for Rowlandson. And he had some safety help coming over to make that difficult, and pass was too tall. It'll be incomplete.
Yeah, Bartholomew with pretty good coverage that time for Chattahoochee.
So a tough moment here early for the Alpharetta Raiders. 3rd down and 10 on their first possession of the second half. They trail 12-7. Got to be a tough task on the coaching staff, Chris, going into that Alpharetta locker room after that turn of events at the end of the first half. But they look like they've come out confident. 3rd down and 10 once again for Dobbs, looking to throw. Good protection. The pocket breaks down, and here comes Dobbs across midfield with plenty of space on the near side. Knocked out of bounds at the 24, 23-yard line. So just like that, a big play gets this capacity crowd into the football game, and that picks up the Alpharetta sideline. Dobbs on the keeper for a big one.
The Raiders did a great job. What they did is they lined up Rowlandson along with Carlos Burst on the right side. So what happens is the DBs and both the safeties went that direction, and the very fleet-footed Dobbs said, hey, I'm going to try my luck to the left, and it worked.
He sidesteps the blitz, fires into the end zone, and nearly picked off. Justin Jackson had it, and it went through his hands, Chris. A dangerous throw, looking for Andre Harton, but that could have been one of those moments that we've seen in the first half. Get to the red zone and then make a mistake. He gets bailed out. The pass incomplete.
Yeah, Justin Jackson definitely, he jumped that route that time, and for all intents and purposes, that should have been an interception. Very fortunate that time for the Raiders.
Dobbs got a little greedy down there, threw into double coverage with safety help coming over on the corner. 2nd down and 10. Dobbs to throw again.
Pressure.
Now the pocket collapses on him, but he gets out of it. Dobbs with plenty of space down the center of the football field. Grabbed and brought down at the 2. Chris, I thought he was going down for a 4-yard loss, and just like that, the Houdini act by Josh Dobbs, the league's leading passer, showing great athletic ability with his legs.
Yeah, fleet of foot. I mean, you can't blame Chattahoochee's front four. They did a great job. O.J. Thompson, he had Josh Dobbs wrapped up, and Dobbs somehow spun, kept his balance, and just shot right up the middle for big gain.
I was about to say thrown for a loss, and just like that, Dobbs emerges, and Alpharetta right now threatening to take the lead. 1st and goal from the 2.
Perry.
And number 2 gets it, and Stephon Perry gives Alpharetta the lead, and that gets this crowd back into the football game. Stephon Perry from 2 yards out.
The Raiders defense did exactly what they wanted to do. They stopped Chattahoochee. They got the ball back, and we mentioned it. We knew that Chattahoochee's offense was going to have to put points on the board, because once the Raiders got the football, and if they were able to stay away from their mistakes, which is what they did in that particular drive, that was a pretty impressive 80-yard drive for the Raiders as they take their first lead of the game.
And Chris, the helmet sticker's got to go to Josh Dobbs on that drive. He really bailed them out on a couple of 3rd and long situations. A critical extra point is up, and it is good. Waller knocks it through. And just like that, with 8:41 to play in the 3rd quarter, the Raiders take their initial possession of the 3rd quarter and drive the length of the football field, and they lead 14-12.
And Kevin, we've seen it so many times. There's been just about every one of our games has had a quarterback that has that ability to tuck and run the football. You know, he's got, we talked about all the weapons he's got out there. He's got Andre Harton out there. He has, you know, Julian Macon out there. He's got Carlos Burst out there. He's got so many guys out there. Stephon Perry, you know, Rodney Morris, you know, Blake Rowlandson. So many weapons out there that if you throw the ball in their direction, they're going to catch the football.
And Chris, they have all but abandoned the run game unless it's Dobbs improvising to save the down and distance. So basically right now you've got some bullets that you haven't used in your gun, a la Harton, Perry, Whitaker. We haven't even seen Trey Whitaker yet tonight. And of course, Julian Macon, who you said you documented earlier, every time he touches the football, something good happens.
These games are about making adjustments at halftime, and the Raider offense has made an adjustment, and I believe what they're going to do is they're going to say, look, We feel that we play a little bit more even with Chattahoochee if we try to run the football. Let's stop running the football and pass that ball a little more and see what happens.
Here's Waller with a deep kick. It'll be Justin Jackson from his own 2. Got a seam on the near side, a burst of speed, cuts it back inside, and he's going to be brought down at the 29-yard line. Nice job there by Jackson. 26-yard return after a Waller kick down to the goal line. Had him pinned down in the corner. Good job there. So now for the first time in this ball game, Chris King, the Cougars go to work trailing in this one.
Just as important as that Raider defense needed to make a stop to get the ball back, to get it to their high-powered offense, this Chattahoochee offense needs to come back and say, hey, you know, we can counter, we can punch with you, and let's see what they do here to try to put the ball back down the field to try to regain the lead.
3-man rush gives Marshall all kinds of time. Now the pocket collapses, and he's going to go down in the arms of Naeem Mustafa. He has just been a thorn in Marshall's side all night long. He probably lost half a yard, so that will be a sack. 2nd down and 11 officially. And that's a 3-man rush, Chris. Naeem Mustafa breaking it down and getting his arms around Travis Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall's got to realize that he can't sit and wait for those twin bookends to come and get him. He's got to get rid of that football.
3-man front showing pressure. They're going to go option near side. Marshall's going to keep it, and he runs right back into the line of scrimmage and hits a wall. And that wall is Naeem Mustafa. Once again, the 3-man rush with that linebacker support is really working for Alpharetta. And Chris, once again, we've seen it a couple times this year. We saw it in the Johns Creek game. The personalities of these teams just absolutely change at halftime. Right now,
you know, as I said, it's about making adjustments, and whichever team makes the best adjustments or makes the most effective adjustments at halftime, they're going to give their teams the chance to win the ball game.
The momentum and the appearance of confidence has come over to the Alpharetta side. Here's Marshall on 3rd and 10. Plenty of time to throw from the pocket, and that's going to be incomplete. Looking for Colin Lisa at the 45. So the defense holds again for Alpharetta, and the Cougars will be forced to give up the football.
Kevin, a dangerous situation right here for Chattahoochee. The momentum definitely on the side of the Raiders. Two very sound stops by the Raider defense. Chattahoochee's going to have to punt the ball. The Raiders should get good field position yet again.
And this will be the time when the Cougars will call on that defensive unit to find an answer to Josh Dobbs. The Raiders defense found a way to keep them in the game in the first half. And now that one is partially blocked off the foot of Abdulawi and knocked out of bounds. Everything going Alpharetta's way. They are going to be in business in terrific shape deep inside Chattahoochee territory. So the rugby-style punter didn't run away from the attack enough, Chris, and someone got a hand on it.
That was Trey Whitaker, the senior.
Wow, Chris, speaking of the Cougars, they're getting a very favorable spot on where that punt went out of bounds. I thought it went out about the 31. They're going to say about the 39 this time. So for the first time tonight, the Raiders get a little taste of a short field. 1st and 10 Alpharetta at the Cougar 39.
Whoever wins this game puts himself right back in contention for the top spot in Region 6A, chasing only West Forsyth.
The Raiders looking to even their record at home at 2-2. Firing over the middle and complete. Rodney Morris on the receiving end at the 25-yard line, and Dobbs barely got that football away.
Quick strike ability by the Raider offense. It's amazing.
And Dobbs, as tall as he is, doesn't have to drop back to survey the field. He stands there with his feet planted and delivers a strike. 1st down and 10 at the 25. Alpharetta with the lead, looking for more, taking the momentum down. Again, Rodney Morris breaking tackles, carrying tacklers inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal, Alpharetta. And in the blink of an eye, the Raiders back in the shadow of the Cougar end zone.
Kevin, you know, I mentioned about Julian Macon being a big threat running the football. Before this game, the Raiders came into this game averaging over 230 yards of offense in the air, and they're showing it right now because Josh Dobbs has really opened things up rather quickly.
They have put their foot on the pedal, and now they go under center with Dobbs as they have done a couple of times before. 1st down and goal from the 4. Motion behind Dobbs. They keep it on the ground. They go to Perry. He sidesteps in. Got a flag coming in late as Perry sidesteps in the mix, and he's brought down. Very short gain. We'll have to see the flag. Cougar players are indicating that it's against Alpharetta.
Looks like Colin Lisa was one of the guys in on the tackle for Chattahoochee.
Holding against the Raiders.
And if nothing else, that gives the Cougar defense a chance to take a deep breath, because the Raiders are really, really coming, and that gives Chattahoochee a little chance to breathe, but it also gives Josh Dobbs a chance to reload.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Chris. You give Josh Dobbs a little bit more room to operate, give those receivers a little more space to break free, and they do come out with a 4-receiver set. Julian Macon in the backfield with Josh Dobbs. First down and goal from the 12.
Burse is split to the top side by himself.
Dobbs to throw, fires over the middle, into traffic, and that's incomplete.
Another very fortunate situation for the Raiders.
2 receivers and 5 defenders in the neighborhood, and I think Dobbs would probably like to have that one back. Well, he's not shy about chucking it into traffic, though, Chris, taking his chances. Very risky decision by Josh Dobbs. Leading passer in the league, came in at 1,238 yards. He's probably over 1,300 at this point in the season. 9 touchdowns for him through the air. Second down and goal from the 12. Dobbs to throw, looking for the corner. Timing pattern is intercepted. Josh Hearn comes down with it.
Looks like the wave went off.
Oh, they're going to say he did not control it on the way down. So that's 2 bullets that Josh Dobbs has dodged in the last 2 plays.
Perfect defense that time by Hearn. He turned, he squared his shoulders, he looked at the ball, he got the receiver on his back.
He boxed him out down low.
Really,
he sure did.
Really just couldn't bring the ball in, but a great defense that time by the senior Josh Hearn.
So it's third down and goal from the 12. Julian making the lone setback with Dobbs. Quarterback draw. Dobbs is loose down the center. Carrying tacklers toward the goal line. He reaches across. Touchdown is the signal. Josh Dobbs from 12 yards out. Touchdown, Alpharetta.
And I was getting ready to say he's going to go down at about the 4-yard line, but he's got that spin move. He spins and he dives forward, keeping his momentum going in the direction that they need it to, and a huge touchdown for the Raiders as they extend their lead.
It is so hard for those tacklers to get a hold of him when he's spinning, Chris. He's so big and so strong with those long loping strides, and Josh Dobbs is putting this team on his back and carrying them here tonight. Waller's kick is up, and it's good. So the Raiders have come out on fire. They trailed at halftime 12-7, and they now lead with 5:30 to play in the third quarter, 21-12. The Cougars with no answers here, Chris.
If you're defensively for Chattahoochee, you've got to come up with some way to stop. I don't know how many heads this dragon has. You know, definitely the largest head is Josh Dobbs. But what happens is when Dobbs doesn't run the football, he's got so many weapons out there that he's using. He's got about 5 or 6 receivers, sure-handed receivers. And then when the secondary does their job and steps back, or the linebackers step back to try to cover all those receivers, that's when Josh Dobbs does his thing.
And Chris, I don't think a single spy is going to be enough for Josh Dobbs. He's shown that he can drag and shed tacklers 2 or 3 at a time. I don't think a single spy linebacker is going to be the answer for Josh Dobbs here tonight, and the Cougars have got to find a way to get back into this one.
And Kevin, I heard the PA announcer mention one of the scores that is interesting to this particular game. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the third quarter it was Johns Creek was leading Lambert 21-0 in the third quarter.
Wow, Lambert reeling after that loss to Centennial, and they are spiraling down the standings in this region. Jackson going to let this one go over his head, and that will be a touchback. So 14 unanswered by the Raiders here, and we still have 5:30 to play in the third quarter.
And Kevin, still plenty of time for Chattahoochee. They're down by 9, plenty of football left to play, but their offense has to get rolling. They've really stalled here late in the first half and here in the third quarter so far.
And Chattahoochee comes in averaging just under 30 points per contest. Right now they are shy of that number by a handful. 21-12. Here's Travis Marshall, 1st and 10 from his own 20. They're going to go give far side. Here is Miles Hill. He turns the corner and gets a pretty good gain out toward the 30. Very short, or very close to a first down. It'll be 2nd down and short for the Cougars.
And Kevin, Chattahoochee's run that play a couple of times with Hill, and it's been successful quite a few times.
You're going to say out of bounds at the 27-yard line, so bring up a 2nd down and long 3. Five minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Here's Marshall to throw from the pocket. Now he's going to have to improvise, and he goes down, and very wisely will slide down at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 3rd down and 3. And that'll keep the clock moving. 4:45 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Quickly, it's 3rd down.
And just like that, Alpharetta has really stymied what was a pretty functional offense in the first half for the Chattahoochee Cougars. 3rd and 3 now. Big down for the Cougars. They cannot afford to give the football back to Alpharetta. And it's going to happen. Colin Lisa with nowhere to go. Travis Marshall was out there leading the blocking, but Lisa elected to go wide, and absolutely nothing happening there. Devon Isaac in on that. Andrew Butcher in on that. Great pursuit. And all the momentum right now is wearing black.
Yeah, that defense has really stepped up here in the second half. 3 consecutive punts for Chattahoochee.
And Chris, you got to figure that you give Carlos Burse enough chances, he's going to cash in on one of them. He stands back at his own 35-yard line.
The punter needs to get rid of the ball a little quicker.
Abdulawi again taking all kinds of time, not his best effort. A high spinner bounces and takes a great Chattahoochee bounce and another great Chattahoochee bounce. Wow. Bailing out the punter with the bounce of the football all the way down to the 35-yard line. And Chris, being the special teams fan that I am, I think I might just let Carlos Burse stand about 20 yards closer to the line of scrimmage and dare Abdulawi to kick it over his head, because right now he's not getting anything on the football.
Well, one of the reasons is because the Raiders are really getting pressure right up the middle. The last kick was blocked. This kick was almost blocked. And as you said, if not for a very fortunate bounce for the Cougars, that could have been really, really good field position, or even better field position than the Raiders have right now.
That was about a 15-yard bounce and roll on the Abdulawi punt. And now Dobbs and company go back to work. Perry in the backfield with him at their own 35-yard line. 3 wideouts to the top. Dobbs adjusts the protection, and they're going to give it to Perry. He's got room through the hole in the left side of this line of scrimmage, and he bursts forward across the 40 to the 44-yard line. Good pick up there.
Good job up front by Zach Mikos, number 72, also.
And Chris, you keep knocking out 6, 7 yards per play. Stay within the chains, manageable down and distance, and you have got yourself a fully functioning offense. 2nd down and short for Dobbs. Again, they keep Stephon Perry in for protection. 3 wideouts to the top. 3 dangerous weapons for Josh Dobbs. He's going to keep it on the play action, and he's got room across midfield to about the 46-yard line. That's good enough for a first down into Chattahoochee territory. So he's doing that read very nicely, Chris. Very comfortable in there. On the option is Josh Dobbs.
And Sykes making the tackle. And Kevin, we're starting to see what you don't want to see if you're any defense, and that is your 2nd and 3rd lines of defense making your tackles.
And especially with Josh Dobbs, Chris, that's a great point you make. He's bigger than the corners and the safeties out there for the Cougars, so that is a very, very tough ask of those players in the secondary for the Cougars. 1st down and 10. They go with it again, and Dobbs keeps it again. Looking for the corner. We have a flag down on the play. Dobbs is knocked out of bounds at the 30. We'll have to sort out the flag. That's going to be in the area of holding. And that was called by the referee. That is going to be holding against Alpharetta. So erase the great run by Dobbs, and they're going to march it back.
And I think the hold may have been right at the line by one of the receivers trying to lay a good downfield block.
Saw number 2, Stephon Perry, kind of pleading his case to the officials. He might have been the guilty party there, trying to help his quarterback reach the edge. And they will march it back inside Alpharetta territory. call it first down and a long 14, just about 15 at the 49. 2:20 to play in the third quarter. Alpharetta lead 21-12. Here's Dobbs on the option. He's going to give it this time, and there is Julian Macon. Chris, I thought he was off to the races that time. Great job of a shoestring tackle. Brian Sykes brings him down.
Boy, we've seen so many kids this season that first or second step, and they are just about full speed.
He is up to speed when he gets to the line of scrimmage on that option. So as you said, Chris, they keep rotating the talent in that backfield. Perry out, Macon in. Second down and 12. Not out of the woods yet. Alpharetta still against the chains here. They go the option again to Macon through the center, and he is wrapped up and brought down across midfield.
Looks like Hearn was in on the tackle that time.
Also got some help there from Mahid Bilal, who has been a real stalwart for that Cougar defense here tonight. Third down and 10 and a half, we'll call it.
Speaking of that Cougar defense, potential big play here for the defense if they can stop the Raiders here.
That would be a big lift for that Cougar sideline if they can get the football back and just prove to themselves and get the confidence they can hold Dobbs. Here he is from the pocket, firing far side, caught, and that's going to be good enough for a first down. Adam Schildhammer, Chris, makes a sliding catch. He needed 11, he got 12. First down, Raiders.
A great catch by the receiver, a great throw by Dobbs. Good protection by the offensive line, but going back to the receiver, Schildhammer knew he needed to go down and slide and catch that ball, and that's exactly what he did. Didn't try to make anything spectacular, and he did what I want receivers to do. If you need 11, run 11 or run a 12-yard route.
And a great job of adjusting to that low bullet. We're going to have a timeout called by Chattahoochee. So, Chris, they were on the brink of turning this thing around momentum-wise, but Dobbs dashes their hopes with a great toss to Schildhammer. Great effort by the receiver to go down and get it. So first down and 10 inside Cougar territory with under a minute to play in the third quarter. And here come the Raiders one more time with that 21-12 lead.
Well, Kevin, it was good defense, but it's almost as if you're Chattahoochee, the way Dobbs has been running the football, you're almost playing one man short, sort of, because there's one guy or maybe two that have nothing but the assignment of putting their eyes and ears and every other part of their body on Josh Dobbs. And what that does is that allows someone else to break open, maybe that extra safety or that extra cornerback or that extra linebacker who may step back in coverage. He has to key on Dobbs. So we mentioned it so many times, you're not only dangerous when you have the ball, but when you have the reputation of the ability to run the football, that can be effective as well.
They have established how dangerous he truly is. First down play is going to be a give to Stephon Perry. He'll have a couple across the 35. 40 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. So the clock becomes an ally of the Alpharetta Raiders right now. Chattahoochee has already burned one of those crucial timeouts, Chris, so that may come back to haunt them later in this contest if they can get back within striking distance here. Right now they've got to find an answer to Dobbs and company. No hurry by the Raider offense, 9 seconds, and it looks like Dobbs is just going to let it run out. 4 seconds, and they are within the play clock, and that will do it for a rapidly moving third quarter. Just like that, the Raiders come out with 14 unanswered and take the lead 21-12. Football fans, remember, PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. From Raiders stadiums, we go to the break. It's the Raiders 21 and the Cougars 12. So we go to the final 12 minutes here at Raiders Stadium. The Raiders lead 21-12. Chattahoochee's Cougars with their backs against the wall. 2nd down and 8. Raiders with the football and the lead, looking for more. Dobbs firing over the middle, and he's got Adam Schildhammer again. And he goes down in the arms of number 23. A great tackle. Kieran Ashley wrapping and bringing him down. Short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.5, call it 5.
Kevin, Chattahoochee's defense needs to make a play right now.
They go to the hurry up once again. Perry in the backfield with Dobbs on 3rd and 5. Defense showing good discipline there on that hard barking snap count. Andre Harton splits wide to the top. 2 receivers near side for Dobbs. He looks for Perry out of the backfield, breaking a tackle and then going down short of the first down. Clock continues to run. It'll be 4th down and 5 now for the Raiders. Decision time for the coaching staff. And Chris, it looks like they're going to keep Dobbs in there and go for it on 4th down and 5. I think that's a good call. You're probably looking at a close to a 50-yard field goal attempt here. And when you've got Josh Dobbs in the backfield, you've got all the weapons you need to pick up a 4th down and 5, maybe 6 now. They're going to say a loss of 1 on the play.
Chattahoochee's defense was able to make big plays when they needed it in the first half. Let's see what happens here.
They've got to show good discipline, and they have got to keep an eye on Josh Dobbs no matter where he goes, or he will break their hearts again. Dobbs from the pocket fires. That ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, and that's a huge play. Dwayne Bartholomew coming out and coming up with a huge play there to thwart the drive. Chris, that's exactly what that Chattahoochee sideline needed. They trail by 9. They need 2 possessions here, and they've got to get something going. 10.5 minutes to play in this football game.
Well, the Cougar defense, they forced a huge interception there in the first half that thwarted a Raider drive. They also forced a missed field goal that also stopped a Raider drive. So now with they got plenty of time to get back in this ball game. Their offense just needs to get rolling just a little bit.
Marshall with all day to throw back there, finally looking near side and gets his man. Colin Lisa is loose across midfield after breaking a tackle. The preferred target so far tonight for Travis Marshall has been Colin Lisa, and Lisa has come through for him a couple of times here tonight.
Yeah, Marshall did a good job of keeping himself in the play, and Lisa saw that his quarterback was in trouble, and he came back and made himself available to the quarterback, and a nice touch over on the left side, and a big play for the Cougar offense.
And Chris, you and I talked a little bit before the football game, and we went on air about how the prevent defense just prevents you from winning. You hate to see Alpharetta drop into that. Double reverse this time. Alec Rubin with the football. Reverse option. He's going to outrun the tackler to the corner. Big pickup and still loose down the far sideline. And the Chattahoochee sideline erupts on a big play out of bounds at the 23.
That was a great play. And, Kevin, I don't know if Rubin didn't. He looked like he was wanting to cock back and throw that football. Did you see that?
I saw flea flicker option all over that one, Chris. He did have that ball on his shoulder like he wanted to throw it. Instead, he tucks it and outraced the defender to the corner. And now the Cougars are in business in Raider territory.
After the big play on defense, that 4th down deflection, and all of a sudden Chattahoochee knocking on the door.
The Cougars have belief. Marshall, plenty of time to throw. Fires over the middle, got a man inside the 10, in to score. Avery Ward, and back come the Cougars in the blink of an eye, Chris. They are back in this football game.
Just like they did in the first half. Chattahoochee fed off the momentum given by their defense. The defense made a big play on the 4th down when the Raiders went for it deep in Chattahoochee territory. The Raiders couldn't convert. The Cougars took the ball and didn't take very long, Kevin, and that was the first time we have seen the Cougars offense move in the second half. They were effective in the first half. They have been stopped up until this point here in the second half, but a huge drive and a big touchdown by Chattahoochee. 3-point game. No need to go for 2, I wouldn't think.
Avery Ward from 23 yards out. We're going to have a timeout called on the field, and that will be Chattahoochee. Chris, they might want to talk it over. There's a chance they're going to have a conversation here. And, Chris, I'm sorry, I was giggling a little bit with the Chattahoochee sideline and their crowd all decked out in pink when they went crazy. It looked like a big pot of Pepto-Bismol kind of boiling over there. I had to chuckle, and I'm sorry if I interrupted you there, but it was really something to see over there. They are into this football game on both sides of this park here tonight.
It's amazing tonight the effects of feeding off the defense. We talked about the first half when they had a couple of big defensive plays. We talked about what just happened there. Kevin, do you remember when the Raiders were trying to score their second touchdown of the second half? How many times did we say how close Josh Dobbs was to throwing an interception? Those particular times, Chattahoochee did not take advantage of the opportunity given to them on defense, and it cost them a couple of touchdowns.
Yep, absolutely spot on.
Yeah, they come back here, and if it's something as simple as a deflection at the line gives them a little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence, and they come roaring back down the field, and they make it a ball game.
How big is that deflection on fourth down by Dwayne Bartholomew to start this drive? The kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Cougars draw back into it, down by 2, 21-19, 9:36 to play in the football game. And just like that, Chris King, we have got ourselves a barn burner here in North Atlanta. Now, the Raiders have got to control the football. Don't change anything. We've seen it too many times. You said guys try to rest on their laurels there, try to burn clock and change what's been working for them. They cannot afford to do that now. They've got to continue to drive and go after points. Both these teams are under their averages on points per game in this contest tonight with 9:30 to play. I don't think we've seen the last points go on the board.
Yeah, a lot of Stephon Perry, a little bit of Julian Macon, and a lot of Josh Dobbs running the ball. And, just throw a whole bunch of numbers up in the air and let them fall on the field as far as who the receivers would be. But the main thing is you've given the momentum back to Chattahoochee, that very opportunistic defensive Chattahoochee. They know they can play. They're in the ball game. They're creating. They're making big plays. You mentioned the big cheer from the crowd over there on the opposite side. And those stands over there, they're packed with the band. You've got to have at least 600 or 700 people over there and a couple of thousand over here. Great atmosphere, great ball game for a couple of teams battling out of Alpharetta. And we've got a long way to go and a good ball game here, Kevin.
Back deep to receive Andre Harton and C.J. Washington. And it's going to be the line drive shot to the 20, taken by one of the up men. Looks like Trey Whitaker. And he's breaking tackles, flag down on the far side of the field. A great return by Whitaker near midfield. We're going to have to sort this out and see what the flag is all about over on the far sideline. So Trey Whitaker does a nice job of fielding the short hop kickoff, but it looks like it's going to come back. Everybody pointing over Alpharetta's way on the infraction.
Kevin,
a little Alan Parsons project to get him fired up here at Raiders Stadium.
You can tell both of these teams realize how important a win is tonight. Whoever wins goes to 3-1 in the region, and if West Forsyth was to win the ball game, that puts them within one game of the top spot in Region 6A.
So, Chris, the Whitaker return stands. They pick up the flag. Big break for Alpharetta. And a heartbreaker for the Cougars with great field position. Here comes Josh Dobbs another time. 9:27 to play in the ball game. A 2-point lead for the Raiders. They're going to spot it at the 48-yard line, just shy of midfield for Josh Dobbs and company. And now Chattahoochee coaching staff wants to talk over that flag being picked up. So an official stoppage here, 9:27 to play. And Chris, it is time for the Cougar defense to stand tall and get the football back to Marshall and company. A field goal will do it. 2-point football game. The Alpharetta Raiders trying to even their record at home. 2-2 would be nice. 1-3 just not going to do it. And as you mentioned a little while ago, Chris, loser of this ball game slides precariously down the slope of missing the playoffs in 2012.
Yeah, it puts you in that 2-2 mark, and there's going to be at least 2 teams tonight, if not 3 teams tonight. They're going to be 3-1 after tonight's ball game. We mentioned earlier that Lambert was losing again. This time Johns Creek was handing it to them early in the third quarter, up a couple of touchdowns.
And this Chattahoochee Cougar team, Chris, they travel very well. 3-0 on the road, even at home at 1-1. So they talk it over, and we go back to action. First down and 10. The Raiders at their own 48-yard line with a precarious 2-point lead. 9.5 minutes to play in this one. Dobbs option. Going to hold on to it, and nothing happening
Great
there.
read.
And there he is again, Dwayne Bartholomew. He has been the man of the second half on the defensive side for the Cougars. Big play there, loss of 2 on the play.
Well, it wasn't hard to figure out whose assignment Dobbs was that time. Bartholomew came in, and I think he would have had the ability to make the tackle no matter who took the football, because Bartholomew came in untouched and really did a good job of messing up that attempted offensive play.
Dobbs, quick strike on the slant. He's got a man, and that's going to be good enough for a first down. Daniel Clements, the go-to guy for Josh Dobbs. And Chris, you can just feel the momentum swinging back and forth across the stadium here tonight. Tremendous plays on both sides of the football. Flag down on the far side at the 43-yard line. Talking it over with Josh Dobbs. Looks like this one may go against the Chattahoochee Cougars. And that is going to be against the Raiders, and that erupts.
Was huge.
The far side does erupt in applause there.
So that negates that quick slant first down pickup.
That's loss of down.
I didn't see what the call was. I did see the signal of loss of down.
And just like that, it goes from first down inside Cougar territory to third down and 16.
I don't know if it's loss of down. I think that's probably should still be second down.
They did signal loss of down, so it is third down and long. Dobbs needs a big play. And he's got one right back to him and right back to first down yardage. And they're going to say incomplete now. Official on the near side waved it off, Chris. Nope, they're going to say it is complete. Okay, so they talk it over, and they are going to give the catch.
It's Rodney Morris.
To Rodney Morris. What a great throw by Dobbs. And Chris, that has been there all night long. The slant has absolutely been wide open all evening long. Big first down pickup on third down and 15. And once again, there's that man again, Josh Dobbs, carrying the Raiders inside Cougar territory. Option, and he gives it, and it will be Julian Macon once again. So Macon trying to do some business in between the tackles there, and he's paying the price. A tough hit there for a couple of hard-earned yards for Julian Macon.
Tough football, Kevin, going back and forth. The Cougars defense makes a big play, and then Dobbs steps up and makes a big play. Penalty step marches the Raiders back. The Raiders come back with a great offensive play.
They go right back to the very same play. Dobbs gives it to Macon another time, and that's going to be good for another 3. So trying to play ball control and time wasting, well, not time wasting, I shouldn't say that, but clock eating strategy here, for lack of a better description.
4 receivers in this time for the Raiders.
Chattahoochee down to 2 timeouts. Dobbs with time. Now he's going to tuck it under and run. Flag down in the backfield.
And the ball.
And Dobbs is nailed at the 22-yard line. Took a big, vicious hit there, but there's a flag resting back at the 43-yard line. That's going to be in the neighborhood of holding. And it will be holding against the Raiders. So
Crucial.
Once again, they hurt themselves with a miscue.
Going to make Josh Dobbs and the offense for the Raiders have to create yet again.
And the officials are hearing it from the crowd.
And not popular on this side of the field.
And again, Chris, you document it every time you see it. When it's behind the play, it is such a silly, silly mistake. To lose your concentration and grab someone after the play is gone.
Then that really, really hurts.
That one will be painful. All the way back to the 47-yard line. And that'll make it third down and 23. And the Chattahoochee sideline and that crowd over there urging their defense on. A big play for the Cougar defense here. Dobbs drops and fires near sideline. The defender fell down. Clements couldn't turn around. The throw went over the wrong shoulder, and that could have been 6, but Dobbs missed Clements after the defender fell down. Looked like Kieran Ashley lost his footing on the near side, Chris, and a big play there. So once again,
it comes back to haunt them again.
Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. We see it each and every week. The team that makes the fewest generally comes out on top, and that holding call is going to haunt them. Fourth down and 23.
Travis Marshall and the Cougar offense showed on the previous series that they're able to move the ball effectively. Let's see if they can do it again.
So Trout on to punt. A little more conventional style punter. Little wobbler off the side of his foot. And that is going to take pretty much a dead bounce right there at the 26-yard line. So no roll for Alpharetta on the punt. And the Cougars will go back to work. They trail by 2.
Only 2.
6:43 remaining. The Cougars have 2 timeouts. The Raiders their full complement of 3 and a 2-point lead. So Travis Marshall looking to find a way to break Alpharetta hearts and come back.
And you can say what you want. The Cougars defense was beneficial by a couple of big penalties, but they did stop the Raiders again.
Marshall to throw with plenty of time, pumps it now, brings it down, and he's going to go down. Inside the 25-yard line, loss of 4 on the play.
Guess who? Mustafa.
Naeem Mustafa has absolutely been a monster down there. And Chris, they're doing this primarily with a 3-man rush for Alpharetta. They are really doing a great job down there. Mustafa, number 99. The big man in the middle, Devon Isaac, number 79.
And Alex Bayron in there, number 54 also.
Alex Bayron doing a fantastic job as well on that left side. They're going to go option right side. Marshall's going to keep it. He dives over the pile. He'll have a couple. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe one more. Looked like if he had given it to Ruben that time, Ruben had some room, but Marshall elects to keep it. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Cougar offense. Inside 6 minutes to play. The Cougars only need a field goal to take the lead. Big play here for the Alpharetta defense. And that fires up the near sideline, chanting their defense on.
Kevin, this may be Colin Lisa time. He's been the man for the Cougars.
Marshall with time in the pocket, stands, looks, plenty of time, still looking. Rolls near sideline, is going to throw this in the neighborhood of Avery Ward, but it is incomplete. So 4th down and 7 coming up. Chris, you got to think, with 5:19 to play in the contest, you punt this one away and let your defense do their job. At least trade field position and give that defense a chance to hold him, and that is exactly what's going to happen. But Adam Abdelouis has not had the best night punting. The rolls have been fantastic, but he hasn't exactly put his foot in one. And I think at this point in time, I would really tell Carlos Burst to move up, not from the 25, I'd say get up around the 45 and dare Abdelouis to kick it over your head, because he has not shown that he's capable of doing that.
The most important punt of the game tonight for the Cougar punter coming up.
They've got 3 men back there as personal protectors for Abdelouis. A high snap almost gets through, nearly blocked.
I don't know how it didn't get blocked.
I cannot believe that someone did not get a hand on that. And that is going to take another great bounce. Trey Whitaker was absolutely in his face back there, and it must have gone under his arm, but it was not blocked. And by virtue of that big roll, Chris,
it'll go in the stat book as a 51-yard punt.
Line of scrimmage will be the 29-yard line for the Alpharetta Raiders. They lead by 2, 5:08 to play in the football game. Conversation at midfield, Chris. I didn't see a flag, now I do, over at the 49-yard line. And this one is being discussed at midfield.
And it looks like the Raiders are pointing that it might be against Chattahoochee.
Another conference there.
Maybe a personal foul.
Personal foul against Chattahoochee. And we're going to have a dead ball personal foul against Alpharetta. So let's see how they sort this out.
Is it going to be a re-kick maybe?
Now the personal foul against Alpharetta was a dead ball foul. Now they're going to say offsetting, and the play will stand. And that's exactly what it looks like is going to happen. Now they're going to march it forward. Personal foul against Chattahoochee. They're going to march it back, and I think the referee's going to turn around and bring it back, and here he comes with the dead ball foul. Okay, so the referee gets his exercise.
Yeah, a few steps.
And we go back to football.
Was that really necessary?
Well, got to make it official somehow. And we have video evidence of it, courtesy of Kenny on the camera. that the official did walk 15 yards one way and then 15 yards back the other. So the question is, did he really walk it all, Chris? First down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Option left side, stiff arm by Dobbs, and he's going to be dragged down by his shirt. Brian Sykes was not to be denied and yanks the big quarterback down by his jersey.
I'll tell you what, Sykes and Bartholomew have really played a spectacular second half for the Cougars, coming up out of the secondary, really putting the pressure on Josh Dobbs, and maybe that's the answer.
We are under 5 minutes to play in the football game. 4:43 and counting. Second down and 11 after the sack. This is exactly what the Cougars need. More of that, and the football is the recipe. Dobbs in the shotgun, joined in the backfield by Stephon Perry. They spread the formation, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. All those weapons for Josh Dobbs, but they go option inside. Perry gets the carry, dragging the pile across the 35, and he might have the 36-yard line. And Chris, good news there, the clock keeps running for Alpharetta. If they keep it on the ground, we might see ground and pound the rest of the way if they can pick up 4, 5, 6 per carry.
Chattahoochee's defense, yet again, in a position to make a big play. Watch that quick slant. The Raiders have been so effective on that quick slant pass tonight, Kevin.
Third down and 5 from the 35. Dobbs looking, firing, airing it out on the far side, looking for Clements, and he's got him! Shoved out of bounds. No, they're going to say he's inbounds. And they'll mark him out at the 35-yard line. A huge pickup, and what a nice touch on the football by Dobbs.
We've seen Dobbs just bullet that ball through the middle time and time again, but that time he put some good touch and air under the ball, and a great job by the receiver running under it. And Clements, as you mentioned, Clements has been his go-to guy here in the second half.
And Clements managed to break free out there, Chris, wide open for Dobbs to find him with a beautiful touch pass on the far sideline. Big pickup for the first down. Raiders looking to close this one out. 3:25 to play in the football game. Dobbs, option. Going to give it inside to Macon. He'll drag tacklers inside the 20 to the 19. And the clock continues to run. It'll be under 3 minutes by the time they snap the next play. And Chris, already very close to field goal range should this drive stall, and that would force Marshall and company to go down and get 6. Second down and 5 from the Cougar 20. Macon in the backfield with Josh Dobbs.
The Raiders doing a good job of taking at least 15 to 20 seconds off the clock every time.
They go option inside, give it to Macon, puts his head down, and he's going to be dragged down and tackled right there at the line of scrimmage. A very short game. Josh Weisberg, the sophomore, brings him down. And Chris, when do you start using timeouts if you are Chattahoochee? You've got 2. Clock now is at 2:26 and moving.
Well, one of the things you want to do is you want to stop the Raiders right here. If you stop the Raiders and force them to kick a field goal, I say you call a timeout right now.
Clock continues to run. Dobbs in no hurry. It'll be under 2 by the time they snap this one.
Biggest play of the game defensively for Chattahoochee. They have to stop the Raiders right now.
Macon in the backfield with Dobbs. Dobbs wants to throw. In trouble, and he is wrapped up, and now he'll go down all the way back at the 31, Chris, and I think that might take the field goal attempt out of the equation.
Nate Sherman with a clutch play.
Huge play. And Chris, I do not think that's going to be an attempt at a field goal that they're going to be confident in. And there is a timeout taken by Chattahoochee. So it'll be 4th down and 15 when we go back to action. Chattahoochee looking to get the football back. 1:53 to play. And again, it's 21-19. The Cougars only need 3.
And Kevin, we did see the Raider field goal kicker miss one earlier, and I believe it was from a lot closer than 47 yards.
26-yard was the miss, Chris, and he was knocking them through in practice from 45, 47-yard range, and it may come down to that.
But obviously you don't punt, you don't gain anything. If you're not confident in your field goal kicker, then you go for it. You have to.
Chris, again, being the special teams person that I am, I might just try a coffin corner and force Travis Marshall to go the distance and burn that timeout and just risk it all with a coffin corner punt right here. Maybe a quick kick by Dobbs. We've seen that before. But right now, biggest play of the game comes with 1:53 to play. 4th down and 15. The Raiders opt to send the offensive unit out and try to pick it up. This is Josh Dobbs' time. He's come through before tonight to break the hearts of the Cougar faithful. One more time for Josh Dobbs, looking and firing far side. Looking for Clements over the wrong shoulder. It'll be incomplete. And now the Cougars will go to work. 1:46 and 1 timeout. The line of scrimmage will be the Cougar 29.
Clement did a good job of trying to contort his body to try to make that catch. What happened is he was falling backwards and his momentum was taking him away from the football, wasn't able to bring it in, and the Chattahoochee Cougars have still got a chance.
Now it comes down to Travis Marshall and the Chattahoochee offense. They are undefeated on the road this season. Can they pull out a miracle here at Raider Stadium? 1:46 to play. Here's Marshall looking with time, in trouble and going down at the 21.
Devon Isaac.
Huge play by Devon Isaac. Clock continues to run, Chris. It's not a matter of picking up first downs now. It's a matter of picking up huge chunks of yardage. Minute 25. Marshall with a quick strike offense. Can he pull it off here tonight? Firing to the outside, looking for Lisa. Incomplete. That'll stop the clock. But it'll be 3rd down and long for the Cougar offense.
The Raiders are doing a good job. They're dropping 7 and they're rushing 4. And the 4 that are rushing are doing a good job of getting pressure on the Cougar quarterback.
It comes down to this. 3rd down and long. Travis Marshall in the shotgun. In trouble, rolling far side. Shakes a tackler on the run, fires, got a man at the 40, complete!
Was that Avery Ward?
Avery Ward, very close to a first down. They're going to stop and measure.
I think they're just going to stop and place the football. I think he did get the first down.
He did get the first down, and that will momentarily stop the clock. What a huge play, a rollout bullet thrown by Travis Marshall. Exactly 60 seconds to play. The Cougars need a field goal. Marshall firing, looking for Lisa near side, and he's got it!
There's that man again.
Colin Lisa at the 36.
What a game.
Unbelievable throw by Travis Marshall. Lisa falling backwards, hauls it in.
Right now it would be a 52-yard field goal.
They've got a timeout and 50 seconds, Chris. The Chattahoochee Cougars looking to come back here. Marshall in trouble, fires as he's hit. And they're going to say intentional grounding.
But he was outside the tackle box, I think.
It is intentional grounding, Chris. That's loss of down.
Huge play.
Marshall was in trouble, falling forward, spotted a receiver, and threw it into the ground short of his intended receiver. Massive play, massive. That is loss of down. 2nd down and long.
And even though they did lose a few yards, I think the loss of down is more important at this point.
Absolutely, absolutely right. They don't need first downs. They have got to get field position for their field goal kicker. 40.8 to play. Marshall rolling. Here's pressure. He fires, and it's intercepted. Michael Downing has just put the knife in the Chattahoochee Cougars.
You say what you want, Michael Downing made a great play, but the man who forced the errant pass was number 42, Bryce Grouse, G-R-A-U-S-S. Great pressure coming from the outside by Grouse, and he forced Marshall to throw that ball errantly right into the arms of Michael Downing.
29.6 to play. The Cougars are out of timeouts and out of chances. Travis Marshall did everything he could, but Chris, the sack was huge. It forced Marshall into a desperate situation, and the Raiders come up big.
How big is that intentional grounding call?
Absolutely huge performance in the second half by the Alpharetta Raiders defense. The offense did what it had to do, and right now Dobbs can take a couple of knees, and the Raiders will hand the Cougars their first road loss of the season.
3-1 in this Region 6-6A. Tastes a lot sweeter than 2-2.
So barring a miracle, the Raiders will improve to 4-3. The Cougars will drop to 4-3. And Chris, there is an absolute logjam in Region 6-6A.
Yeah, and West Forsyth better be careful because they've still got a couple of tough teams to play before the top spot in the region has been determined.
Victory formation for the Raiders. The Cougars can't stop the clock. Handshakes all around. The crosstown rivalry has been everything it was built up to be. And the Alpharetta Raiders will defeat the Chattahoochee Cougars by the score of 21-19 on a huge night in North Atlanta.
What an exciting ball game from start to finish.
Absolutely.
So many plots and subplots and momentum swings and big plays and penalties and every aspect of a football game. But what it came down to at the end was pressure on the quarterback, forced him to throw an errant pass, interception by the home team, and they hold on for the big win.
They come back, Chris. The Raiders do 14 points in the third quarter. The Cougars make a valiant effort of it. They come back, but they fall just short. 21-19 is your final. Region 6-6A action. A spectacular effort by both sides. So that is that from Raiders Stadium. We'll be back with the post-game show in just a moment, but we want to remind everybody that PlayOnSports.com is on Facebook, and I think it's going to be all over Facebook and Twitter tonight, Chris King. And we give you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us all the time, 24/7, on Play On Sports on Facebook and Twitter. And you can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. That's what I do every Friday night. And you can keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. We'll be back to wrap this one up at Raiders Stadium in a moment. Your final score. I'm choked up over this one. The Raiders 21 and the Chattahoochee Cougars 19. We'll be right back to wrap it up. What an exciting night at Raiders Stadium in Alpharetta, Georgia. The post-game show here on PlayOnSports.com. The Friday night game of the week has been a barn burner here tonight. The Alpharetta Derby goes to the Alpharetta Raiders. They defeat the Chattahoochee Cougars by the final score of 21-19. Welcome back, everybody, as we wrap this one up from Raiders Stadium. Kevin Beck along with the big man, Chris King. Our producer, Jason, and Kenny on the camera have been privileged to watch an absolute sparkler of a game here tonight. Chris, this had everything, a fantastic packed house to witness a very, very exciting football game. Well played by both teams on both sides. All-star standouts throughout both offenses and defenses. and this one really turned out to be one of the spectacular games that you and I have called in a very long time.
The ebbs and the flows were out in force tonight on this cool, beautiful night here in North Atlanta. You know, give credit to Chattahoochee. They came out and they kind of stifled the Raiders early on by bending but not breaking on defense, took an early lead. The Raiders came out like gangbusters in the beginning of the second half and scored 2 quick touchdowns and looked like they were getting ready to go in and put the game away. But Chattahoochee's defense, their opportunistic defense, had a big deflection on 4th down where the Raiders were going for it. They stopped the Raiders. Chattahoochee took the ball and drove the ball down the field about 78 yards and scored a touchdown. It came within 2 points, but that's as close as they got. They had a couple of chances late, but the Raider defense stood tall, and it was a big play of Bryce Grouse, the pressure on the quarterback, and the interception with less than a minute to go by Michael Downing that sealed the victory for the Raiders.
And Chris, we thought this one might turn in a different direction based on the final seconds of the first half when Carlos Burst tried to short hop that punt. According to the officials, he touched it, and that ball just ran like a scared rabbit toward the goal line. And with about 9 or 10 seconds, Chattahoochee went in and got a field goal when it looked like the other way around. So we thought that possibly that might demoralize the Raiders. Whatever happened in that halftime locker room, they need to bottle it and sell it, because the Raiders came out like a house on fire in the second half, 14 unanswered, and that showed the Cougars that they were not going away, and they hung in there the entire second half. And as you mentioned, big plays all around on both sides of the football. It's a shame that somebody had to lose this one.
And, you know, we always have to give a player of the game. And you and I talked right before we came back here for this final part of the game. We talked about the defense, you know, a great game. We called the name Devon Isaac many, many times tonight. We called Naeem Mustafa many, many times tonight. But let's face it, the man who really brought the Raiders back and got them the lead has to be considered the player of the game, Josh Dobbs. What an incredible performance offensively by the quarterback.
And Chris, we touted him during the pregame show as being the league's leading passer, doing all this with his arm, and we saw that tonight. He made some great throws. We saw some bullets. We saw a couple of ill-advised throws as well. Excuse me, a couple of throws he probably shouldn't have made, a couple of interceptions, and a couple of missed interceptions that could have turned the entire tide of this ball game. But that beautiful touch pass on the far side to Colin Lisa to change, or Clements, excuse me, to change field position and get his team back in it. But I'll tell you what, he did it tonight for me with his legs and his head. A fantastic job, a smart performance by our player of the game, Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, and he deserves it, as you said. He came in as the region's leading passer. Did a really good job. Did not hurt his stats offensively in the air as well. And he's got so many weapons out there. I think he hit 7 or 8 different receivers. I think his main receiver tonight was probably Daniel Clemens. Clemens caught a bunch of big passes. Early on in the game, it was guys like Carlos Burst who made key catches. Blake Rawlson came in during that run where they took the lead and made a couple of big catches. The defense stepped up and did their job. Just a great ball game all the way around. Tip your hat to the Chattahoochee Cougars. A gutty performance by their defense. They took advantage of opportunities given to them. Travis Marshall really played a good solid ball game, played a smart ball game, but just at the end it was that defense of the Raiders that overcame the Cougar offense.
And Chris, they did it primarily with a 3-man rush, but when you've got 3, and I'm going to use the word men because those youngsters down there are absolute men, they did a fantastic job of putting the pressure on Marshall, basically shutting off that run game in the middle. They had to work the outsides most of the night with the options, the pitches, the tosses, and the throws into the flat. But I'll tell you what, if we could give away half a dozen players of the game tonight, I think we could find guys that would be very, very deserving of that accolade. Just a great performance all the way around. And kudos to Travis Marshall. That team never gave up except for the big sack at the end. Travis Marshall had his team on the way back. They were in this thing till the final gun. The final interception really was the coup de grace here tonight. But a great effort by both squads, and they have a lot to be proud of. First road loss of the season for the Cougars, and the Raiders even their record at 2-2 at home.
And I mentioned earlier, this is one of the most competitive regions in the state, Region 6, 6A. There are a lot of really good ball teams in this region, and unfortunately only 4 of them get to go to postseason. So there is going to be a really good ball club that's going to be watching from the stands come postseason time. But it's fun to be in the hunt, and that's what happened tonight with the Raiders by keeping themselves in the hunt and possibly giving themselves a chance for first or second place, which means a home game in the first round of the state playoffs.
And Chris, we saw this Alpharetta team get stunned early in the season when they lost to Milton. No one thought they were going to lose to Milton. Milton showed that they're a team to be reckoned with this year as well. We might be headed for a showdown again, a crosstown rivalry to the other side of 400 with the Milton Eagles, and that would be an interesting game as well. A big confidence booster here tonight. This crowd was absolutely fantastic and a big, big night. So that is going to do it from Raiders Stadium here in Alpharetta. We thank everybody for joining us here on PlayOnSports.com. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Your final score, once again, the Alpharetta Raiders 21 and the Chattahoochee Cougars 19. For my partner, Chris King, our producer, Jason, and Kenny on the camera, this is Kevin Beck. This was a great one, and we were thrilled to bring it to you on PlayOnSports.com. Join us next Friday night for just another fantastic matchup in Georgia High School Association football, and we look forward to bringing it to you. Good night, everyone.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field.